Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone live on this Sunday evening or Sunday night. Weekend is just over. Hope you all had a great weekend. I most certainly did. Yeah, hope to find you all fine. I hope you have all been watching the latest videos that I've put up, especially the Christopher Eccleston video. I just want to say something on that. Obviously, a lot of things are starting to come out now, and we're starting to hear more about Christopher Eccleston's private life. And it seems that while he was filming, obviously, Doctor Who, he was going through a lot. Very brave of him to do this. I applaud him, to be quite honest with you. Hopefully now it will give other men, especially men, I will say, but it gives everybody the courage to actually, you know, um, to speak up if they have something on their mind, and you know they they're suffering. A lot of these people suffer in silence. So if you haven't seen the video, I highly suggest that you watch it. There's an article there. There's a few. I mean, it's an eye-opening article. The book is going to be absolutely a roller coaster, as far as I can tell by the little snippets that we seem to be getting. So yeah, it's a book that I'm definitely going to try get my hands on. And I'm gonna give it a read. I haven't read a book in a couple of months now. Well, I think it's last year or something since I read the last book. So yeah, very keen to read this one. So yeah, if you haven't watched that video, please do. But some little idiot decided that they'll take their personal grudge out on me and dislike the video. Um, Listen, I don't care if you have a problem with me, but when we're talking about serious issues on this channel, which this channel sometimes does touch on some serious issues, um, I expect to leave your personal little gripes to yourself. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself, actually, whoever disliked that video. Um, it actually bothers me because I don't mind if you dislike the other videos. To be quite honest, I really don't give a crap. But to dislike this video, is that the kind of doing me head in a bit? It just goes to show you that you're pathetic. And I know who you are, actually. The only reason why I won't mention your name is because I've built up all the evidence that I need anyway, and I'm going to hand it over to the proper authorities, because you've been picking on Daniel as well, and you've been picking on other people. So you're probably watching now, and you're probably disliking this live stream now. So just to let you know, um, I'll be handing all over the relevant information. And you're a bit of a fool as well, because you have a video of yourself up on YouTube. So I actually have a screenshot of your face as well. So they'll have no problem in tracking you down. How dare you dislike a video when I'm talking about um, a serious issue here, and it's something that's close to my heart, because for someone that actually suffers from depression, you know, I take this issue very seriously. That's why I did the video that I did last night. That's why I decided I wasn't going to use, people watch me videos on this channel. You always know that when I do a video, I always use a pop song or something. I didn't last night. You know what I mean? Not for that video. So I tried to be as respectful as I could. And then you get some little dope who has a personal vendetta against me to dislike the video. I'm sorry, I don't mind if you dislike the other videos, but that one, it just goes to show you how disgusting you are. To be quite honest with you, you're a vile human being. Um, Seriously, vile. That was a serious issue talking about, and you just have to take your personal vendetta out on me. But you know who you are, and everybody else actually kind of knows who you are, and that's dealt with you. So, as I said, have your face, have a screenshot of your face, and I have all the stuff that you've been sending people screenshotted, and I'm going to send it to the proper authorities in Wales. And you'll be sorted, because I'm not putting up with this anymore. You're not going to go around bullying, abuse, and harass people that I know. I don't mind if you come after me, because I honestly don't give a crap. I'll snap you in two anyway. Right, let's do the shout outs anyway. So, as you have seen from the title anyway, the same as the last time. Basically, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about tonight. I have a list from the last night, so I'm going to read out the names in no particular order, by the way. So I don't want anybody getting into a bit of a feel, oh, but I'm forced. I'm just saying in no particular order. I'm just going to call out the names that I have that people said that we're going to ring in tonight. And let me know if you're able to still ring in tonight, and then I will obviously put a tick beside your name. But in the chat right now, we have Bull, Yvette, Mrs. Not My Doctor Who, Not My Doctor Who, by the way, I'm just going to do a quick channel shout out. Not My Doctor Who have finally came to the dark side and basically set up a YouTube channel, and they have a video up already. So if one of you guys want to put the link in the chat, go ahead. That's Not My Doctor Who. They have their own YouTube channel. So go and give it a subscribe. We also have the Dr. AK Amy. We have Gary. We have hold on now. We have hold on. Oh, see, it's after going all the way. Are you for real? Oh, I hate when this happens. I hate when this happens. I hate when this happens. Right, so we have Michelle here also. Right, so I think I'm caught up there, haven't I? Hold on. Yes, that's right. So hold on. So we have Michelle, we have US Dutch Kitty. Welcome, and thanks for subscribing. Also, it came up that you subscribe. So thank you for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate your support. We got Yvette. Who else have we got? Not My Doctor Who also. Daniel is here as well. Nice to see you, mate. Stephen Griffiths is here. Who else have we got? We have Rocket Runner. Welcome. The Dr. AC. Welcome. The Last Time Lord is here as well. Dane is here. Welcome. Jack is also here. Welcome, Jack. I think I mentioned Michelle, but just in case I haven't, Michelle is here also. Leland is here. Welcome, Leland. Peter Davison is here. Cheryl is not here tonight. Cheryl is actually in bed. Cheryl's stomach is not the best. And Teddy is in with her, so I'm on my own tonight. Paul is here as well. Chuckzilla is here. Yeah, and that's everybody. Welcome, everybody. So as I said, obviously, like when you come on, you can talk about whatever you want. And I'll tell Teddy that Trigger said hi to him. I will indeed. Does anyone have the DW board game? Says Leland. Sorry to hear that about Sharon. Yeah, we have myself and Cheryl haven't had the best couple of months when it came to our health. We both seem to be being sick at the same time, which is unusual. But I should be okay. We'll get through it. Let me see. 26 people watching already. If you haven't given the video a like, please do. And obviously, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. On this channel, just in case there's anybody new people here on this channel, basically I'll be taking calls from some of the fans. Um, some of them will obviously talk about Doctor Who, others will want to talk about other stuff. But we'll get as many calls as we can tonight. Um, the last time I gave everybody 20 minutes, but what happened was we got 7 calls the last night and I couldn't fit them all in. So I'm cutting it down again. I'm sorry. So everybody will have 15 minutes each. And I'm going to be strict on it as well because I actually have a list. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So, as I said, in no particular order, the following people. So I have Paul up for a call, Daniel. So if you two guys are still up for a call, let me know. We have the Last Time Lord. I didn't see Michael Richard in the conversation yet, but Michael asked to come on. Yvette, obviously, Neil, and Gary. So if all of you guys are still coming on, let me know. Or even better still, each person that is available to come on can send me a message on Messenger right now. Uh, we're not done in any particular position yet. What I'll do is text me on Messenger, and whatever order I get the messages in, I will. So Paul, I have your name down. Chibnods can't even write a bathroom wall. Less good sci-fi script. You said you wanted to come on. Are you still available to come on? Cheryl will be okay. It's just look, she just has cramps. Um, so Daniel is the first one to get in touch. So Daniel will be the first call tonight. And Paul will be second call tonight. And Gary will be third call. So the 3 lads have got their names in straight away. Quick fire, lads. Quick fire, quick fire. Right. So we got the 3 lads. Ted is fine. Ted is just in with his mammy. When mammy is sick, Ted goes in and stays with Cheryl. Um, did Okay, I keep forgetting that Neil. Yeah. And Yvette has her name. Yvette is next. So, what I'm gonna do for Monday stream, I'm already putting the first name for Monday. I'm putting Neil down first for Monday because the thing is Neil, like everybody, but Neil has the school run in the morning, and he likes to come on and have a chat. So I'm gonna put Neil on first for Monday. So far I've got Daniel, Paul, Gary, and Yvette. And the rest of the people that wanted to come on, right? So we got Gary, Daniel, Paul, and Yvette. So we've got the Last Time Lord. Last Time Lord, you'll come on Monday instead. Okay. Right, well, I'll put you second Monday. Anybody else up for coming up? Yeah, coming on tonight. I don't see Michael Richardson in the conversation at the moment. Um, I'll just check Messenger just to see if I've received any message requests, because sometimes that happens as well. Oh, I got sent more. I got sent more um, disgusting messages. Actually, do you know what? I don't really care about exposing these nuts. Do you know why? Because I'm not going to show you the photograph because I've blocked the idiots. But um, obviously it says tap image to view, but I'm not going to do it. But right, and all I'll say is it's severed heads. This is the kind of stuff that you get sent by these people. So this person said that they wanted to come on and talk, and then I get sent that. There's a few like that. I don't see Steven. Steven's not in the chat. Um, I don't know where Steven actually has been. Hold on. I'll actually try text him here and see if he's around even. Alright, I've texted him to ask him if he wants to come on tonight. Oh, he is here. How did I not? I called your name out, didn't I? Is that how thick I am? I actually called your name out, and like I'm there looking for sending you a text. I ignore the text message then. I sent you a text message on Messenger because I'm a tick. I'm just here, just listening tonight, vegetating. Right, well, you might get inspired and write something nice for us all. Right, so come on, is there anybody else that after all, you know what? Do you know what makes me laugh is that like some years are like, oh, let me on, let me on, let me on, and then when it comes to coming on, I've got 4 people. Is that all that wants to come on tonight? Four people in 3 hours. There's nobody else in the chat that feels brave enough to come on. Let's see. Michelle says, no, I would, but I'm making dinner. Well, no, do you have some? You do have some vicious posters. Having pasta. Yeah, well, actually, talking about competitions, I'm working on something at the moment with someone. I won't say who because it's a bit of a surprise. Um, but we might be working on giving away a prize on this channel. Leave it with me for now. I'm not gonna say much more about it yet until it's basically all sorted out, and then we're gonna come up with a competition somehow that everybody can join or take part in, I should say. Let me see what's going on in the chat. I don't dare come on as I do not echo the echo chamber intro. Why don't you leave this channel if you don't agree with the message? Well, who said what's going on? Is there fighting in the chat? I don't know what's going on. Am I missing something? Guys, remember anyway, everybody has a different opinion, you know. Um, just like keep it civilized, yeah. I have to deal with a lot of crap as it is online. You know what I mean? I don't, everybody's been kind of great in the chat, so let's try keep it that way. Paul, you can talk about whatever you want tonight. As I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be about Doctor Who. You can talk about almost anything tonight. So yeah. Um, why do I always let me coffee go cold? Right, what I'll do is, right, I'm gonna switch the kettle on real quick. Now we're gonna fill this up. Then we're gonna start taking calls. And the first caller, obviously, as I said, is going to be Daniel. And then we have Paul next. Then we'll have Gary, and then Eva. And then if anybody wants to come on after listening to at least one or two of the calls and see how easy it is, and then he's decided to come on, you're more than welcome to come on. So yeah. So I've got everything set up anyway. So right. I'll just get Daniel ready. I'm just gonna get you ready, Daniel. I'm not gonna ring you right yet. I'm just gonna give you a thumbs up there to let you know that I'm getting ready. I'm just gonna whack on this kettle real quick. Oh. I'm not fucking rushing on that. Of course I didn't, because I don't think of these things. Right. Right, let me see. Put the kettle on now. Go on, Chuckzilla. Chuckzilla, do you want to come on tonight as well? I'll put you down on the list. Would you like to come on? I thought there would have been more people willing to come on tonight. But look, we'll get the show on the road anyway. When the kettle boils, sure. Or maybe I should just wait before I start that actually. Right. Oh yeah, I just wanted to talk. So I don't know if anybody. I think what they called. I think it was is it Who discussions or something or whatever. It's a Twitter page that had to that they basically decided to give it up or something because of all the abuse. Now, listen, I've said this on numerous occasions. It doesn't matter what side. Look, I get accused of going after people, right? What people don't realise is anytime I go after anybody, it's because they went after me in the first place. Do you know what I mean? I don't. Yeah, people say, "Oh, well, you get provoked." Yeah, I kind of do, but like at the end of the day, you've got to defend yourself against these people. Do you know what I mean? What do you want me to do? Like say nothing? But this is what's gone wrong in the fandom now. You have a different opinion. I mean, there's another Twitter page, and they put up, this is just my opinion, and basically said they didn't like Jodie Whittaker and didn't like Series 11. And he said, this is just my opinion. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. No, I mean, it wasn't that bad. And then I see today then that they end up apologising for the post. I'm sorry if the post offended anybody. Well, I don't care if the post offended anybody. This is what's wrong with the world nowadays. You're not allowed another opinion because, if you do, you're gonna offend somebody. I mean, did we just become a world of pussies? Like where everybody is just offended over the least little thing. Seriously, it's absolutely ridiculous. It needs to stop. And you know what? It's both sides. It's both sides. I mean, how many? Look, we've already seen it on Twitter. This is not the first Twitter account that has been long term on Twitter that has decided to call it a day. We've had even some other YouTubers even decide that they're not even going to concentrate on Doctor Who videos anymore as their main videos because of all the abuse. Where does it stop? Do you know what I mean? Where does it all end? I mean, I said this. You look at what Christopher Eccleston has put out, right? Now, mental health, to some people, is still a thing that's that people don't take seriously, but they should. Um, and we're living in an era of social media, and for anybody that's on Twitter, especially, will know that Twitter is a cesspit, right? Now you've got to be strong-willed and strong-minded beyond that, right? Now, what would happen if someone on it, right, a fellow Whovian, was bullied to the point where they tried to kill themselves or something? Is that where we draw the line when someone dies, or do we not just you know, say enough is enough? We know this fandom has been infected, right? This fandom has been split from day one since that announcement was made. And, then the dust settled for a while. People were saying they weren't going to watch. Some people didn't watch. Then those people like me that said they weren't going to watch, then eventually did give it a chance, right? And I'm still not impressed. Now, anytime I put up a comment about not being impressed, right? Now, Twitter is there for you to answer in different posts, and then obviously people come on to mine and answer on mine. But I go in, and if I see a post that's positive, I say, well, I would have to disagree, in my opinion, right? And it's just my opinion. But of course, you get few triggered people on it then, and then they just bully you constantly then for the next couple of days or weeks or months because you just happen to have a different opinion. This is how crazy this world has gone. Opinions seem to offend certain people out there because it doesn't fit with their ideology or their belief system or the way they think society should behave. It, I mean, we see it everywhere now, and I just see, look, I've even said it on this channel. You see that the suicide rates have gone up, and a lot of these people are suffering from depression and other stuff, and it is the result of social media. Social media has contributed to the rise in suicides. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I've been in that position, so I know it's a dark place to be in. And some people say to me, "Well, Jesus, no, maybe you shouldn't be on Twitter. It's not the best place for your mind to be." But trust me, you know, I've hit rock bottom before, so like I'm fine. I can handle situations now. It's it's like Each side now wants to tear each other apart, right? And at the end of the day, there's victims all the time, right? Whether it's a YouTube account having to close down, or a Twitter account, or a Facebook account, or whatever. Like a former doctor like Peter Davison having to come off social media because of his views on the 13th Doctor. I mean, where does it stop? You know what I mean? I'm not going to get all political on this channel at all, but it's the same thing that happens in America every time there's a shooting. When does it stop? How many more deaths is it going to take for people to actually sit down and come up with a solution that suits all sides? All sides. It's the same also, when it comes to Doctor Who. Chris Chibnall, in my opinion, if he wanted to, bring in new fans, that's fine. But you don't neglect your old fans either. And because the abuse since these fans have come into the fandom has gotten worse. It hasn't. Look, you could even see it slowly and surely that this fandom was changing. Um, it obviously changed. Um, Obviously with the influx of David Tennant, and then you had Matt Smith. Then it changed again. Obviously, then Peter Capaldi came along, and then obviously it changed then because a lot of the older fans was actually like Peter, and then the younger fans, not all of them, but a lot of the younger fans were saying he's too old. Don't actually get the program. This is the thing. Like, I mean, I put two polls up, which actually shows, how bad it's gone. But look, this is happening all over social media, and it needs to stop. And I mean, look, I know sometimes I don't help the situation, but most of the time, and there is a few people that wind me up, that get on my nerves, that I have to keep poking with a stick, and maybe I should stop. But there is times where I'm not gonna, I'm gonna defend myself, and I'm not going to let these bullies, and I've even gotten stick off our side because, I've dealt with it. I've said this in a video before. When does it stop? When does it stop? Do you know what I mean? It has to stop somewhere. To me personally, it's not even going to get better when Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker are officially gone, because you think they're going to go away quietly. No, we've got a few more years of this. So I mean, look, it's just so sad that, like, even if and I wouldn't even mind this, some of these Twitter accounts and YouTube accounts I don't like, but that's not the point. They have the right to that opinion, and it's not right to see channels like that, or Facebook groups or anything like that to fall. You know what I mean? If it's a targeted hate group, obviously, you know what I mean. But they're not. It's just gone too far. I mean, look, I've had people try to take down this YouTube channel, and thanks to the fact that YouTube know this type of thing is actually starting to happen, that people are deliberately reporting channels to try get them taken down, and now YouTube have actually realised that that's actually happening a lot of YouTubers now, so they've put protocols in place now to make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. Which is one thing that YouTube has done that's good, because to be honest with you, YouTube seems to be hurting creators all of a sudden, and that's where they've made most of their money, off people that have decided to set up YouTube channels like this and other channels, whatever channels they decided. Like, people, have been basically keeping them going, and now they changing algorithms and everything, silencing YouTube channels. It's gone ridiculous. It's gone ridiculous. I mean, there's Ball Streckman. He puts up a video and it gets demonetized within 5 to 10 minutes after he puts it up. Like, it's ridiculous, and it's happened to other YouTubers as well that I know. Just talking about YouTubers, actually, there's a couple of YouTube channels that I personally want to give a shout out to. So, as I said earlier on, Not My Doctor Who have set up their own YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to them and check them out. Also, the Spacebook is also on YouTube. Check them out. And this channel in particular. Now, guys, trust me. This last channel, subscribe. Doctor is what they're called. Doctor. Um, that channel, trust me. Keep an eye on that channel over the next couple of days. Because there might be something on that that's worth listening to. So that's Doctor. Go and check them out. Some of you from this live chat have already subscribed to them, because I've seen their subs went up to 75 or something. Um, and they're only a new channel. They've got a video up already. They deal with Series 12 rumors and speculation like myself. The interesting thing about it is that the two channels seem to be linked to the same sources, because we've been in communique and our information is identical. So go and check them out. I think they were supposed to have a video up tonight. It didn't quite go as planned. So yeah, as I said anyway, and I said it to you on this channel as well a couple of streams ago. Keep your eye out, because I've got a funny feeling there's something on the way. Well, I actually don't have a funny feeling there's something on the way. I know there's actually something on the way. Of course, I can't say anything because, silent. You know what? This silence is killing me. I just feel like just blurting it all out and just facing the consequences. But you know what? I've been this loyal to my source, this far. So why will I break that now? But tell you, man, I'm tempted. I am. But no, loyalty with me. You know that, guys. You know that loyalty with me. But I have a fail safe in play though. Um, if something does go wrong, which it could always go belly up. Um, just put it this way, I've covered my own backside. But no, I won't. I won't. I won't. Of course, I won't. Jesus, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Jesus, look, if I was going to do it, I would have done it a long time ago. Trust me, because I would have had to jump on loads of things way before this. Do you know what I mean? No, I play it the way I've played it all the time. I do it. Release the information when I'm told to. The only thing is, you know what? Even though I love getting this information, right? The thing about it is, right, and I don't want to say this to the sources just in case they say, all right, then you're not getting the information, because I get the information, but then I wish sometimes I didn't get it. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm there, oh Jesus, what am I gonna do? But no, I wouldn't, and I definitely wouldn't. They know that. I mean, even when that leak happened that night. I mean, I was even saying, no, and then he said, "Feck, go for it." No, I'm not. I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not. Jesus, I won't. Um. So yeah. So here, listen. The kettle boiled about 5 minutes ago. I was waiting on the kettle so I could get Daniel on, and I'm gonna get Daniel on. So just give us a second. And I have to boil the kettle again because I messed up. Right, I'm gonna get Daniel on. Let's get this show on the road. Yeah, it is hard to sit on news, but I've sat on news before. I mean, if you remember, I sat on the Cybermen news for ages. Um, that was a pain because, like, obviously I knew when that was going to break, that was going to be big. Um, but when I let you know on the channel, it was like, there was still a part of me like saying, because as I've said on this channel from day one, you receive information from sources, and the thing about it is that, and it is a true fact, that what was said is that some sources can have agendas and they can give false information. You know what I mean? But on this channel, and luckily, and I have to say I have been blessed. I have seemed to have got me hands on sources that are actually um very reliable and haven't steered me in the wrong direction. Now that doesn't mean that the rest of the information that I've been given is true. Do you know what I mean? As everybody knows with source information, it's never 100% until it's actually confirmed. Anyway, this is the thing when people say, "Oh, you're lying to your subscribers." My subscribers are not stupid. They know what source information means. They don't know they know that it doesn't mean it's 100%. They know it's source information. Like, I don't know. Some of these people kind of make me laugh because, like, how am I lying to my subscribers? Did I lie about the Jadoon? No. Did I lie about the Cybermen? No. Did I lie about BritBox? I didn't know. Do you know what I mean? How many strikes, basically, is what I'm trying to say, does my source need before there's people out there that actually, get over themselves and stop calling me a liar? It's ridiculous. Doesn't matter anyway, that bottle of champagne's still on ice. Right, we're gonna get Daniel on, get this show on the road. Right, here we go. Let's see how my buddy is tonight. Let's hope he's in good form.
Hi. Oh, how are you tonight?
I'm not too bad, my friend. How are you?
Not too bad.
That's good. That's good. Right. So, what is it you'd like to talk about tonight, Daniel?
Just like, and just like instead of, instead of fighting each other, we should all support stuff like the classic series and like finish and just enjoyed enjoyed showed the and the would enjoy it because we all enjoyed different elements of it.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, it needs to stop. I mean, like you've seen it yourself. You've been the target of some abuse on.
Yeah.
Actually, we should talk a little bit about that, Daniel, because I think it is important for fans out there, especially those who are listening that think that this is all like, that this doesn't happen in the fandom. Just let people know the kind of things that have happened to you since you've been back on Twitter.
Basically, the, I know I haven't helped the situation either, but because some of the stuff I've said as well, but like the fact is, so like half the stuff I come away with is as jokes, so I don't actually mean it's serious. it's do you know what I mean? I've got a very dry sense of humour, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I've seen your tweets and your sense of humor. Um, yeah, you do. Yeah, you look. I mean, at the end of the day, though, that still doesn't excuse the kind of
Yeah.
abuse that anybody's received. I mean, we've seen it so many times on Twitter. It's just all I'm just saying is it just needs to really stop.
And also as and also as no, I'm sure I've told you a story before, but like a person, well, I thought this guy was a friend, or I thought this guy was a friend in real life, right? And it was on Facebook, a couple a few months ago actually, and basically I helped them all. I helped them all through I helped them all through school with issues that he was getting bill eating stuff like that. And then as soon as I put my thoughts on Facebook about Jodie were taking as channel, they were destroying the show, he actually turns round and calls me a sexist. Now, see, a couple of years before, I was criticising even more of it, and Stephen more of it, and basically how he handled Capaldi, because I actually think Capaldi's a great actor, and yet nobody was attacking me and for like basically ripping into even more of it. It's all because they cast a female doctor that they assume, oh, you're a scumbag, basically.
Yeah, it's like you know, as you know yourself, being a fan a while, um, there's always been some level of criticism aimed towards the next person um, that has taken over the role. As I've even said on me here plenty of times, and even on my Twitter account, you'll see that even when Patrick Troughton took over, there was a lot of negativity around his casting.
Yeah.
It was the same with Peter Davison as well. They thought he
Yeah.
was too young at the time, believe it or not.
He is actually my favourite classic doctor, believe it or not. As I told you before in the pre-recorded interview that we did that we wrong basically, but that's another one. But basically is that I kind of know what I'm talking about because a lot of these younger fans that have came in since 2005 have just only paid attention to the new era and and specifically the Cristiano era. Right, I was actually I actually got a couple of classic episodes on the DVD during um endings. I'm all stuff like that. And over the years, I've actually gradually it became a lot more invested in the Essex series because I'm now starting to prefer the classics series over the new era simply because the stories are all a lot more engaging and you've got time to actually enjoy a story as it progresses.
No, I agree with you. I've been obviously I grew up on Peter Davison. Obviously, as a kid, Peter Davison was my doctor, but he wasn't the first doctor that I actually watched. That would have been Tom Baker. But I'm now again going back to the classic era, and it's great because I'm watching it with Cheryl, and
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know if you've ever introduced anybody to Doctor Who, but it's a great feeling when you're sitting there and you love this show, and then there's someone that's sitting beside you can appreciate
I'm
can
uh, I'm
appreciate it.
about I'm about the only one that really enjoys it basically. So I've always been an outlaw basically, which is actually quite unique. Stood out. I've always kind of stood out from the crowd anyway, because like a lot. Because I even like the '60s, but Man series as well. I've got all of them in Blu-ray as well and stuff like that. So I do a few older shows.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah,
which is
I like the classic
um,
Batman myself, actually.
yeah, which is kind of unusual, although for somebody that's my age, because I'm still in my twenties, basic.
Yeah, but you know
Anyway,
what, Daniel? I always believe this. I always believe this, right? Uh,
yeah,
Great television has no age limit. If it's great television, it doesn't matter how old you are. Whatever the target
yeah,
audience is for, you're going to be drawn to it. Um,
yep.
that's the thing. Back in the day, there was a lot of great television made. I am not saying that there isn't great television made now. I had someone that came on to one of me comments and commented, if you're going to say that sci-fi is dumbed down, well, you really should need to stop moaning for three
As
hours and get to
um,
watch. You should
as
watch TV.
as I can't remember who said it on your live stream, but whoever said it is that sci-fi is basically is unfed to you basically, and basically sci-fi is supposed to be a smart version of TV. You're supposed to be able to figure stuff out for yourself, not be told directly the answers all the time. No, oh,
Exactly.
in
I
regards to
mean,
the story.
I'm watching, as I said, now, I would class Swamp Thing as a bit of a sci-fi thing. It's a bit sci-fi. It's got a bit of witchcraft and stuff. Now, I don't know the origins of all these characters, right? So I know there's some people out there that won't
Yeah,
watch it because they gender swapped a couple of roles or whatever it was, or changed them around. I never knew that, but watching it, it's a great show, right? The Expanse is another one. Orville is another one. For people saying that, because there was a people in the comments, like for people saying that, I don't know that there's good sci-fi out there. I actually do, but what I'm saying is the majority of it is actually shit. You just have to look at Star Trek Discovery. You just have to look at
yeah,
Star
mm,
Wars. You just
yeah.
look at the new
No, I'm
Terminator
not.
movie that's coming out. It's all being dumbed down. So
Yeah,
don't be like coming onto the comments and saying,
yeah.
you know,
No, no. I couldn't really get into Star Trek, right? But I feel sort of empathy with Star Trek fans because I can empathise with it because they've obviously seen the army age with with the show that was discussed, which is Doctor Who, and you can see the exact same thing happening because the Star Trek Discovery stuff. No.
Blue Bonnet Hoovian just summed up that comment straight away. She says, I saw that comment by the idiot on one of your videos now. Why doesn't he listen to all of the chats before commenting on something he has zero clue about? Exactly. I mean, Jordan, that live stream, we actually spoke about the good sci-fi. This is, do you know what I mean? This is what I mean. They comment, they watch the first couple of minutes of a stream, they comment on it, and they don't watch the rest. Don't comment on a video if you're not going to watch the whole stream.
Yeah, it's because people sort of creep and they want to see what they want to see, basically.
Come here, I'll ask you actually out straight while we're here. What is your favourite sci-fi show at the moment on TV or sci-fi movie?
Well, basically, it's the classic era of Doctor Who because I love the classic series and I've got one more into it basically because I've got more of the DVDs and stuff. I think that I actually think season 18 is an underrated season, but we all know that Tom Baker get gradually more difficult to work with, but even still, there's still some gems in the context of that season, though. Or if you actually watch it back.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the classic sci-fi movies and TV shows are probably the better ones. I'm not saying that there isn't. Teddy, I know he wanted to come in, didn't he? Yeah, he heard you, Daniel. He heard you. Ted heard you, and he wanted to come in and say hello to you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Ted.
Hi, Ted. Go on, finish your point there, Daniel.
And also, like the Empire Strikes Back from Star Wars is probably the best example of Star Wars on as close to perfect as possible because it's the best Star Wars movie in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan now. I have to be honest with you. I know that might come as a shock to some people, but I was always drawn to Trek instead of Star Wars. Now, I'm not saying, look, I'm not by any means saying that the classic Star Wars movies aren't classics because they are, and they are great movies. Now,
yeah, I mean,
go on, Daniel.
Each to their own. We've all got our own personal taste, you know what I mean? Because I'll never come on here and attack you for different opinions. I actually enjoy hearing your opinions, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what this channel is all about, different opinions, man. And as I said, I mean, people need to realize, I'll just finish with this. People need to realize that, you know, whether you like it or not, people have different opinions, and it's not a bad thing, you know. You know, since when did it become a bad thing? One more thing I wanted to ask you before I let you go, because to take the next call. Um, any news on the YouTube channel that you were thinking of doing?
Um,
Have you any more
maybe.
thoughts on it?
Well, I was going to ask you if you wanted to come on as a guest, because I feel it's my show ought to ask you the hard technical questions for a change, because come on now, you've asked me the questions for over a year on social media. I think it's time to ask you what your thoughts are on certain things.
Well, do you know what, Daniel? As I said, if you are serious about that channel, I'll come on, no problem, as a guest.
Yeah,
And don't worry, I'm sure, as I said, and you seen it the last time, I'm pretty sure that everybody in the live comments there, if you set up a YouTube channel, will actually subscribe to you. So yeah, I hope you do. If you do, we can come on and we could talk football, because I know you're a Celtic fan as well.
yeah,
Obviously, me being
yeah,
a Manchester United fan,
and
we could
yeah,
talk
I'm
football.
actually I'm actually a season ticket holder itself. If you didn't know,
Nice, nice.
yeah,
So you get to go every 2 weeks, isn't it? Every 2 weeks, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
every 2 weeks.
Mm.
I have um um I have very strong opinions on referees. Maybe I should actually maybe I should actually what and on one of the referees during the game, no, because I think you'd start pissing yourself over. I think some of the shit I come away with.
Oh, I love you, Daniel. I really do. I love you. Oh, do you know what? I do criticize Twitter, and and we do get a lot of stick on this side of the fandom. But the one thing, and I've said this from day one, the one thing that I will say is that I've met a lot of nice people, um, and people that I can really truly say that, um, if I was to meet them in real life, would be true friends. There's a lot of nice people. Seriously, when I've been at my lowest doing this, because it gets me down sometimes doing it, because
Yeah,
you get constant abuse after you know who your real friends are. Let's just put it that way. Or the ones that really truly care, because they're the ones that are always constantly texting you and worrying about you. And listen, I know on me days off, a lot of you text me and all to see if I'm okay and all, right?
yeah, I
I
do all the
really, I
time. You
do,
must be,
I appreciate it, guys. I really do. Do you know what?
yeah,
It's overwhelming, because
yeah,
like I
I
do be.
do all the time. No, must be sick to the sight of me. You must.
No, I'm not. I do really appreciate it. You guys are great,
Yeah,
and I just want to let you know that. Right,
yeah.
Daniel, I'm gonna get on my next guest, but listen, I'm on tomorrow night, so look, I don't even have to ask you. I'm just gonna put you down on the list, right?
I'll definitely be on.
Right,
No, because I
Grant, you're on
enjoy
the list. You're on the list. I thought you know
and
what? I should just put your name permanently on the list
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
So,
and I promise you, more, I'll be a lot more serious the next time I'm on. No, 'cause there's a couple of questions that I never get the chance to ask you tonight, though. So maybe over the next couple of days when I'm next on, I can ask you.
no problem. Sure, I'm on tomorrow, Daniel. You can ask me then, yeah?
All right.
All right,
Cool.
good night, mate. You enjoy the rest of the stream, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, mate, right? You look
Okay,
after
cool,
yourself
mate.
as well.
Okay.
Right, good night, mate. Good night. Um, and that was Daniel, everybody. Again, Another great call. I just kind of wanted to kind of let Daniel kind of let us know what kind of happens in the fandom from his point of view, and the kind of stuff. But again, interesting conversation. I mean, hearing Daniel, saying that he's into all the classic sci-fi and the movies and stuff like that. As I said, good movies and TV shows like that to me don't really, have an age limit. Anybody that is old enough to watch television will appreciate good television. Even the kids, if there's something there to keep the kids entertained while keeping the adults entertained. I mean, in my household, we're very big into Buck Rogers. What else? We had obviously the MacGyvers. You had Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Then you had Angel. You had Xena Warrior Princess. I know that's not kind of sci-fi, but you know what I mean. You had the A-Team. You had MASH. Then you had a wide range of different TV, and it didn't matter what your tastes were. There was always something for everybody. Now, that's not the way to do television now. If you look, there's not programs out there for everybody anymore, right? And if there is, it's full of propaganda bull. So basically, it's for all the others. It's not for you because you're not, you don't. People that watch these things and criticize, we're not getting the message. We don't buy into the message, so we don't like it. There'll be idiots that will watch it because they buy into that message. Right, we'll get the next call on because we just keep going. I'll let you do all the talking tonight. I'll just so next I have Paul. So Paul, are you still if you still want to come on, just give us a quick text there to let me know that you're available to come on. Chat's playing up for me, mate, tonight. Oh, no way. Do you know what? Where is he? Are you still in the chat? Do you know what I'm going to do, actually? I don't know why I didn't do this in the first place now. I should make you a moderator on this as well, actually. Just in case. I don't know what's wrong with you. See, again, YouTube playing up, apparently. You can't put these comments in, like. Do you know what I mean? This is happening as well. People are being subbed and unsubbed and all this crap. Like, it's actually doing me head in. Like, it's like, I actually don't even see any of your comments even in the chat now. It's like as if they've disappeared. No, they're okay. They're off. Yeah. Right, hold on. We'll see if this works. Add as moderator. There you go. Right, you're added as moderator. We'll see if that works. So if you're still here, if you haven't went to bed yet, obviously you're up in the morning for the school run, so you understand that. It's the only horrible thing, isn't it? When they're that age and you have to still get up and bring them to school. You just wish they were old enough so they could go to school themselves, so you can actually have a line. So we've got Paul coming on next, and I'm about to ring Paul now. And Ted is just actually sitting down beside me feet. I don't know why Ted, do you want to come up? Come here. Come here to me. Quick. Come on. Everybody in the Tardis on wants to see. Oh, there you are. There's my little fella. Hello, Paul. Welcome to the Tardis Zone. Say hello to Teddy.
Hey, Teddy.
Yeah. So what would you like to talk about tonight, Paul?
Yeah, so I'd like to just
Okay, a little bit of a switch up beat and talk about another one of my absolute favorites, which is Blake's Seven.
Right.
All right. The thing for me, everybody who really likes Blake Seven said that they really got into the story. They really got into the show. It was an awesome show. It is sheer perfection. So when I really put it under the microscope, Blake Seven and why it worked so well, in my opinion, it was a drama with a sci-fi setting. Okay, so you had a fascist authoritarian over there in government to the point where they had the population brain control, thought police, and then you had your renegades and your rebels like Raj Blake and Kerr Avon and Jenna. So it was all about the stories, and the acting was amazing. So the point that I'm trying to make here is we don't live in that world. We don't have spaceships. We don't have off-world colonies, at least not that I know of.
Yeah.
So it's sci-fi. It's science fiction. But if we had if we lived in that world right now, it wouldn't be called sci-fi. It would be called any old regular modern day drama. So my point here is the reason why I mostly wanted to bring up Blake Seven. People have different opinions as to what they like and what they think makes a really good sci-fi, right? So for me personally, I like the drama. I like good writing. I like casting, directing, the acting, all about the story. Seeing how people act when they're put in impossible situations. So that's my opinion. I don't project that on any other person. We all like what we like. I like Star Wars. I like Star Trek. I liked Stargate. I liked Atlantis. But for me personally, like I like Babylon 5. But
Yeah.
my opinion, Crusade was even better. I
Yeah.
liked Stargate, but I think, in my opinion, Stargate Universe was even better.
Yeah.
I loved the original Battlestar Galactica, but in my opinion, the reboot, the Ron Moore version, in my opinion, was the best show on television when it was on. For
Yeah.
those 4 or 5 years, that was the best show on television. Um, I like Doctor Who, but in my opinion, the classic show is 1,000 times better. Okay, so I liked Star Trek Voyager and I liked Enterprise, but in my mind, Odyssey 5 was even better. And I know a lot of people liked Passengers, the movie, but
Yeah.
I liked Arrival much better. Now,
Yeah.
again, those are my opinions because I like the complicated stuff. I like the
Mm.
drama. I
Yeah.
like that drama, and I like thinking, and I like following the complicated story. I like what I have to pay attention. Well, again, that's just me. I'm not one of those people who say, "Fuck out of here." You have to like what I like. You gotta do it this way, or it's gotta be that way. I'm not one of those guys. I like what I like, and I say, look, listen, we can come together and say, you know what, you like what you like. I like what I like. Instead of us focusing on what we don't like or where we don't come together, how about this? How about we focus on where we do come together?
Mm.
Let's talk about the things that we do like, and let's discuss what we like or we don't like about the things that we do like. Then, if we can branch off into what we disagree on, we can do so agreeably. Okay, we can agree to disagree, but do so agreeably.
Mm. I'm
Okay,
actually like yourself. I'm a fan of Arrival. I don't mind Passengers, but I thought it was very predictable. Actually, reminds me of another predictable movie that I watched, which was Life as well. Um, that was very predictable as well. Actually, the end of that movie was actually highly predictable, but it was a fun movie. But I do prefer uh, Arrival. And obviously, I love Interstellar as well because obviously you have to use your head when you're watching that movie too. And I'm like you, I just like sci-fi movies where you have to use your brain. There's nothing wrong with that. You can have the Star Wars movies. You know what I mean? They're a bit of fun. I'm not saying it isn't stuff to figure out on those, but they're mostly. Let's be honest, they're mostly. There is a story there, but it's mostly all about the action and all that. But I like me real. Yeah, we're fans of the complicated ones, aren't we, Ted? Yeah, yeah. Ted
See
doesn't.
now, okay, like see, I like the Orville. I do. I think it's a good show.
Yeah,
But personally, I like The Expanse more.
yeah.
I don't look at it as saying, "Oh, The Expanse is better." No, I'm just saying, for me personally, for my personal opinion, The Expanse appeals more to me. Why? Because it's more serious. Okay, I always like things that are more serious, that are more grounded, that are more gritty, that are more down to earth. If that can even be applied to science fiction, because at the end of the day, it is fiction. Okay,
Mm.
so again, that's just me. That's what I like. So I don't. I'm not one of those people who tell a person, "You're crazy for liking that." I don't know how the hell you can like that. I don't get that. I
Mm.
don't. I don't see why we can't just sit down and discuss where we agree and where we don't agree, because you know what? It's not always about agreement. But see, one thing that I never do, and I have been guilty of it in the past, I will admit, but I don't project my mindset on others. No, you have to look at it this way. You have to talk about it this way. Well, that's just that's just as bad as the people who say you have to be PC, or if you don't want to remake the world and you're not, But listen, before I even go into all that crap, like I know a lot of people like Lost. I
Yeah,
like Lost.
yeah,
I thought Lost was a really good show, but again, in my opinion, Battlestar Galactica, the reboot, was the best show on television when it was on. It was amazing. It was different, and like Babylon 5 Crusade. Crusade was so ahead of its time. When it first came on, I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I didn't understand it. When I rewatched it again later, I got it.
yeah.
And it clicked. And I said, wow, it was so ahead of its time. And it really allowed me to understand something. A lot of people, when they see something, it comes out, they see the formula, they see the casting, they see the direction, they see the story, they fall in love. And it's great. And then when they hear the producer say, okay, you know what? We have another show coming out. You automatically want the same exact formula, the
Mm.
same exact. So when that new show comes out and it's different, people hate it right off the bat for no other reason than it's different.
Mm.
Now, sometimes they're not good, sometimes they're even better. But I have observed that just the fact that it's not the same exact vehicle, people get upset and really get upset. Like, for example, in my opinion, Torchwood was a good show. It wasn't Doctor Who, but that's okay. It was never meant to be Doctor Who. It
Mm.
was a really good show. So, and I hear people say that, well, if it hadn't been a spinoff or it wasn't equated, okay, fine. You know what? I would ask people, do this logic experiment. Totally remove Totally remove Doctor Who from your mind. It never happened. It never existed. Now look at the show. It's a good show on its own merit. So the point that I'm trying to make there is that people are very resistant to change. And anything that's different, a lot of people dismiss out of hand only for the fact that it's different. Again, sometimes the spin-offs are good, sometimes they're bad. They're hit and miss. But there have been a lot of good spin-offs that have been better from the show it was spun off from. But people are so hung up on change that for them it's just no good. They're like, I don't want to hear it. Get out of here. I don't want to. I want nothing to do with it. And you know what? A lot of people, I think, really do a lot of good spin-offs, and you disservice.
Mm, no. I mean, for example, I mean, I suppose you should call it's a reboot, the Lost in Space reboot. Now, okay, as I said, there is some PC elements in it, but I actually didn't quite mind that show. I know there's people out there that actually think it was complete and utter filth, but I actually would have to disagree. I actually even, do you know what? Do you know what I remind? I'll tell you how I felt watching it. I felt like a little
Yeah.
kid because I couldn't wait to see the robot because I hadn't seen any promo for this. I hadn't seen that, and I actually came across it by accident. And the one thing that just kept popping into my head: when am I going to see the robot? When am I going to see the robot? When am I going to see the robot? Or when is the robot going to say? What does he say? Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger, Will
Danger.
Robinson.
Yeah.
Danger.
Oh, it was seriously, it was like a little kid. So look, I know there's some things in it that people don't like, right? But in actual, if you look at the sci-fi in it, the science in it, it's actually pretty good. It is, and I reckon
It really is.
Series Two. I reckon Series Two actually will be an improvement. And I can't wait because the end of it is just epic. If you haven't seen it, look, I mean, look, people are not look, you're not going to be satisfied with everything that's in it, but there's enough in it as far as I'm concerned, personally speaking, and I think it deserves to be watched. If you hate it, you hate it, but at least you gave it a go. I wouldn't be just listening to people that say it's bad. You know what I mean? Go and watch it yourself, or even watch an episode. But I have to say though, it is a slow burner. It's like one, two, three. I think it was three episodes in. Then I was fully invested. I was still kind of after two episodes in. I was like, maybe, maybe not. But then the third episode then came in. Third episode after the third episode, it won me over.
You know what? You know what? I couldn't agree more because, funny enough, I actually brought up that show to you. You know, when I said that the Lost in Space reboot, when I saw it, the whole wokeness aspect, honestly, it sickened me. Every single scene, it sickened me. Where it's freaking super G.I. Jane and he's some pussified wimp,
Yeah,
sickened me.
yeah,
But that was about, out of every episode, that was honestly about maybe 5 to 7 minutes, 10 tops
yeah.
of on
That's what I
screen
mean. And
time.
then watch the
But
rest.
one right, but once you can sit once you can sit through like say 3 minutes of just gut wrenching, disgusting wokeness, it's actually a good show
Mm,
on its own merits. I liked it. I
mm,
really did, and I'll say that because I keep saying how the wokeness ruined it, and you know what? That's a bit unfair
mm.
because I don't like that wokeness, the whole flipping the thing, and you know the husband's a pussy who ran away from his family, and the
Yeah,
wife is GI Jane. But once you again, that's maybe like like 2 to 3 to 5 minute spurts.
mm,
Outside of that, it's a good show, and it was good acting, and it was good sci-fi,
mm.
and it was really good sci-fi, and it wasn't a bunch of a, a lazy writing
No.
MacGuffin device just tossed in there to just move the story ahead. It really was a good show.
Yeah.
I have to admit.
Some of the signs in it was great. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean the. I just hope now the stories are good as we said. I mean, I think it's episode. I think it is the third episode. Remember where the father is fixing the spaceship. He's under he's underneath the engine room or something, and it's flooded with water. And there's this
Right.
bloody, I won't go into it, but there's something that happens in it in the whole episode. It's just, look, to me the science in it is what has attracted me to it, because Like, as you said yourself, you take all that. But I was going to ask, actually, because this is an interesting question to ask. If we didn't have all these years of wokeness, right, would we be actually saying the same thing about Lost in Space, though? Because I think if we didn't, we'd actually be saying completely different about Lost in Space. I think we'd actually be saying it's one of the best sci-fi shows on TV at the moment. But I think because we've
I
had,
don't know that I'd go that far, my friend, but it's good. But see, the thing is this, right? I don't. I just, my thing is this. It for me it comes back to the whole trying to remake the world thing. Instead of trying to tear down traditional male roles, be creative and just create new female roles. Okay, instead of making um, Father Robinson literally a freaking brute soldier
mm,
and mom be some super scientist, why couldn't you have left him as a scientist, leave mom as a scientist, and why not make both daughters scientists? Or
mm,
why not even create an entirely new character who wasn't in the original show, who is a woman as a scientist?
mm,
Okay? Because I keep pointing back to Asian Carter. I loved Asian Carter. I thought it was a great show. I still think it was a great show. I was upset that they canceled it. And guess what? It was a female character in the lead, and it was her show, and she was a great character.
mm.
So I'm not anti-women. I'm not any of that. I'm not even going to use any of the political terms. My point is, I don't like the remaking and the gender swapping because you're trying to push a narrative or an agenda. That is lazy. Be creative, create new female characters from scratch and let them stand on their own 2 feet. If you want diversity and you want inclusion and equality,
Mm.
let them be equal right off the bat. How about
Exactly.
that?
Yeah. Fair
That,
point.
that's what I'm saying.
Fair point. Fair point. Great points tonight, Paul. I'm on again tomorrow. If you'd like me to put your name, I might as well ask while you're on the line. Do you want me to put you down? You'll be fourth on the list for tomorrow. Would you like to be put down for tomorrow night?
Sure.
Okay, no problem. So I have you down on the list now. So you'll be the fourth caller tomorrow night. So there'll be Neil, the last time Lord Daniel, and yourself. Thanks for calling in. Great call as usual. I'll talk to you soon, buddy. You have a good one.
You too. Take care.
All right, see you later, bud. Thank you. See ya. And that was Paul, everybody. Some great points made there again. I mean, Paul comes on and he always talks a lot of sense, actually, I have to say. And, it's actually, look, I mean, it's quite logical what he's saying. But of course, to other people, it's white noise because they don't, they don't fully grasp the concepts that he's actually addressed in that call. People nowadays, I don't know what's happened to society, I don't know what's happened to the human race, but we should be really ashamed of ourselves that we've actually fallen this low because we have. I mean, I thought we were an intelligent bunch, but clearly we're not. Clearly we're not. Right. So next is Gary. So I'm just going to give Gary a text there to see if he's. Well, I'll give him a thumbs up to see if he wants to come on, and we'll see if Gary is ready. And then we will have our regular scientist, our resident scientist, I should say, Yvette. Let me see. Hold on. I'm just have to get in a quick message there. No, you think you have time for me to call in? Not sure. Yeah, plenty of time. We've got another hour and a half. So I'll put you down, Michelle. You'll be after Eva. Anybody else actually before I take the call with Paul or with Gary, is there anybody else that would like to come on tonight? Gary, I'll just bring you on now in a second, mate. Just give us a second. I'm just going to see if there's any more after your Yvette and Michelle. If anybody else would like to come on, this is your chance. This is your chance. This is your chance. This is your chance. Do, 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 do. It looks like nobody wants to see. Every time I mention, does anybody want to come on for a call? Right, the chat goes dead. The chat goes dead. Oh, apparently not saying. Do you know what? One of these nights I'll just ring a random person, whether you want to come on or not. You are coming on. That'd be funny. Maybe I should actually do that now. Just go eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Catch Jodie Whittaker by the nose. If she yellers, let her go. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Do it now. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, I should. Nah, that'd be bad doing a prank call on someone, wouldn't it? Here's your name, Bond, James Bond, license to kill. Let's do this, Miss Moneypenny. Right, let's get Gary on. Gary. It's gotta be Gary. Ooh, that's a bit of a loud one.
Hey, Noel.
How are you, Gary? How are you?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm not too bad, mate. I'm not too bad. So, what would you like to talk about tonight?
Well, a couple of things I want to just do kind of a follow on as to what some of the topics that have come up
No problem.
earlier tonight and on your last thing. But I have to ask, I asked something in the chat earlier because I'm just so curious about this, because we have so much fun in the chat, everybody, while we're listening to the show. I just got to ask, do you ever go back after your shows and like just read all the entire chats? Because I think that would be like a mind-blowing experience for you.
I do read some of it as it's going along. To be honest with you, before I start taking these calls, I actually used to read out the whole chat, believe it or not.
I know it might take about 4 hours to do, but the chat's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, I actually have to say, when I first started these videos, I think there was like 5 or 6 people originally in the chat, and then obviously it's grown into its own little community now. I do get texts all the time off people. Oh, when you putting the chat up? When you putting the chat up? So the chat seems to be more important. Well, not more important, but it seems to be an important part of it. And you can see, obviously, you've seen yourself. People have made friends on it as well, which is great.
And sometimes it's almost kind of like one of the old Monty Python episodes. It covers about a million topics, and just kind of ranges all over the place.
Tell me something. Is there anybody in the comments talking about pasta salad by any chance?
I saw once, there was one earlier. I think I just saw one.
Yeah, that seems to be a thing that pops up on the chat. Pasta salad.
So let me see, just a couple of things. One last thing, because I know that on Friday and I think on Thursday you were just asking people about companions. So one of the things, and every companion is at least one person's favorite. But I was thinking in the classic series, and I always default to the classic series more than the new series. It always seems to me, and this is just kind of a rough thing, it always seems to me that when the companions are concerned, that a success of a companion is maybe around 20% of the writing and 80% the acting and the chemistry with their doctor and with their fellow companions. It all seems to come down to that, because not that all the companions are generic, but they all share a basic set of functions and characteristics and stuff, and everything added on top of that is down to the actors, style and their ability and how well they get along with the Doctor. So I think, I mean, going by that, I think the most successful companions, I would say first would be Ian and Barbara, because at that point, really, they were the heroes of the show. They were really the heroes and the main characters of the show.
Mm.
So I think they were very successful companions. I think Ben and Polly, because they had generic in some ways, but they had great chemistry with both Hartnell and Troughton, and with each other. So I think that was a lot of their success. I think Jamie, who Fraser Hines was great with Troughton, so we liked that character. Joe had fantastic chemistry with Pertwee and with all the unit guys. Sarah Jane and Harry, great chemistry with each other, and there with Tom Baker. So, Mary Tam as Romana and Ace. So those would be my best ones, because I think, there's a lot of kind of similarity, but for me, their success is almost wholly because the actors brought something which elevated the generic role of the companion far above what the role itself usually called for.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think it's very essential, when you're casting the Doctor, and especially nowadays, that you cast the right sort of companion or companions in some cases. But I don't think they've got the formula right this time around anyway. I don't want to go back to that again, but I just don't think the dynamic really works. And if you don't get that right, then you're already in trouble.
Right. Well, and I think today, and like I said, we're not going to talk too much about the new series. I mean, but all of New Who, I think the companions, they're trying to not only serve the role of the companions, but for any of the companions, they're trying to serve a lot of different masters beyond just the function of the companion in the story. And I think that really hurts a lot of the New Who companions. Helps a couple, but I think overall it's kind of a detriment, because they're just trying to check too many boxes and serve too many different things.
No, I would agree on that. Yeah. Right. Well, let's move away from that.
Okay.
Yeah. Go on.
Right. So I want to kind of hit something briefly that you talked about. Two things. I want to kind of follow on Paul's TV comments, and then I want to go back to last Sunday. I think you were talking about movies, and I just wanted to kind of toss out a little bit more about the film franchises, if I could.
Yeah. No problem.
So I actually think that, and just like Doctor Who, film franchises and favorite TV shows are as individual as, anything else. So, but for me, it seems like with the franchises, you kind of mentioned a lot of the ones that you like and the ones you think are still viable and stuff. And like for me, my favorite current franchise is the Mission Impossible series. I think that those are so well done and so well written. And I'm usually not that big of a fan of Tom Cruise. Like, I won't go see everything he's in, but I just think he bats 1,000 on these, with the exception of, I think, the second one, the one that was directed by John Woo. I thought was just weird, and they were trying to find the style back then. But I think all the others have just been, knocking it out of the park. And I know that they're already planning to do 2 more, like 7 and 8. And I know Haley Atwell, somebody mentioned, I think Paul mentioned Agent Carter. Haley Atwell is going to be in both of the next 2. So I'm just anticipating that those are going to be just as good as they ever were. So for me, that's my top franchise right now.
I like Emma. I have to say, I actually do like Mission Impossible though. I actually thought it was better than the first one, believe it or not. But I do agree with you. The rest of them are absolutely brilliant. I mean, they're basically flawless. But I don't know. There's something about I know. Look, I will agree with you. Mission Impossible 2. There is. It's not. I know it's not the greatest movie, but there was just something about that movie I liked. I don't know. I thought maybe it was just the chick that was in it. Maybe I just liked the chick.
No, I mean, no, I I don't hate it. I think there's something great about all of them. It just like it seemed to go over the top, with like the two motorcycles ramming into each other, exploding, and it was just like, oh, come on.
Yeah,
that was just like one thing in the movie. I think that a lot of the ones, and I'm still a huge Bond fan. I know you like Bond. I'm not that enamored of the entire Daniel Craig era. I mean, he's had a couple good ones, but overall, it's just kind of. And now it seems like with every other franchise, it's falling prey to the woke stuff going on. So, but I mean, if I'm flipping around, I mean, I have them all on disc, but I mean, if a TV show is showing any of the Roger Moore ones or Sean Connery, I'll stop and watch it. I mean, you can't not. I mean, those movies are great. So, but actually, the franchise that I started with as a kid, and back in the day, there was really nothing like it. Was the original Planet of the Apes series. I mean, those 5 movies, really back at a time when like 70s science fiction, in the movies wasn't really. I mean, the really big successes were few and far between. But that one went to the trouble of creating its own internally consistent timeline that looped around on itself. And that was just like a one of a kind series. Nobody was doing that. And I even liked the TV show they came out of. I'm really not a fan of the new ones. I only saw the first one of this new updated version because to me that really wasn't kind of like my Planet of the Apes. But the original ones I thought were just fantastic.
I've watched all the new ones. Don't get me wrong, I'm like you won't beat the classic Planet of the Apes movies. And I remember watching the TV show as well. Yeah, the new movies, they'll never beat the classics, but they're not bad. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed them. It was certain. I mean, it's better than that. What was it? What version was it? Was it Mark Wahlberg version? Wasn't it?
Oh, that was the Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Oh, that was no.
That was bleeding god awful.
Yes. Some of the ones I know that you mentioned things like ones that shouldn't come back. Like I know you mentioned Back to the Future, which I don't think ever will because I know that Bob Zemeckis and Gail, the two producers on it, they have in their original contracts that there won't ever be as long as they're alive, there won't ever be another Back to the Future movie. So I don't think you have to worry about that. Another one that they
unless someone bumps them off.
What?
I said unless someone bumps them off.
Well, yeah. Don't say that. No, come on, don't say that. Don't jinx it. I actually think one of the ones that I still hear every couple of months that they're trying to resurrect, and I think I would put this in your category of just like stop it already, is like the Die Hard franchise.
No.
It's like every month I hear about something like they're going to do like an origin movie or they're going to do a young whatever. It's like, that I think just stop it. I think other ones really quick, I think they should just leave alone. I think the Alien movies, they seem to be still dragging that out. I think that, Terminator, they're coming out with the as Nerdrotic says, the Herminator movie now. That's a franchise that should have ended after the second one. And it's like, when the story is over, just end the franchise, and they don't seem to know how to stop. They just keep dragging these things decades longer than they should. I think they'll probably try to resurrect Indiana Jones, even though I think that is just
Well, he's making another
Jurassic
one.
Park.
He's making another one anyway. They're making another Indiana Jones with Harrison Ford, yeah. Reprising his role again. Yep.
It's going to be Indiana Jones sitting on his porch and telling the kids to get off his lawn. I mean, I don't see how they can make a good movie about that again. And like Jurassic Park is another one of those. It's like, okay, well, the dinosaurs were great, but but anyway, so I just think a lot of the franchises now, as you mentioned, they're just getting so warped beyond what their initial concept was now because they're trying to serve an agenda, or they don't recognize that it's already been done to death. And the stuff they're putting out now is just unrecognizable. And it's kind of ruining the legacy and taken away from what we loved so much about it, when we were kids and became fans of all this stuff ourselves.
Yeah, I know. Everything, I've just noticed that just seems to be the thing now, that everything that we grew up with as kids is just, as you said, is being rebuilt. But look, I wouldn't mind if they were rebuilt with all these franchises, right? And they were actually done with a bit of respect. They were actually done with the proper people in place, and they were actually casting people that deserve to be cast, and they actually produced good stories. But what's happening is, as you know, and everybody else knows, is they've become propaganda pieces because those movies mean something to people back in those days. Like for example, the Star Wars franchise. Let's be honest. I'm not saying that women don't like Star Wars, but let's be honest. Most of its fans would be young boys and older dads and granddads even. Do you know what I mean? So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you changed one, you gender swap these characters and stuff, and you start messing around with it, then you're excluding them, and they're the fans that have kept these fans. This is what I even say about Doctor Who fans. Forget about even me, right? I'm talking about the classic Who fans that have been there from day one, that were around, and old enough to watch William Hartnell as the Doctor. They're the fans I feel sorry for, because they're the fans that are being shit on right now. The long-term fans. Remember, as I keep saying, they're the type of fans that keep these franchises alive when they're dead and buried, basically. But they keep them alive in different ways by buying the merchandise, by like for example, for Doctor Who
Right.
fans with Big Finish.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
You think about and you think about some of the like the stuff they're putting out now, and the stuff like you mentioned, like the original Star Wars, some of the TV shows not Doctor Who, but some of the other like TV shows that came out. That we may look on them now and think, maybe the acting wasn't great or the writing wasn't great, but there was something about them which made us love them and which made us kind of hold on to that love through all the decades. And we still look back on it, with a certain amount of affection and love. Nothing that they're putting out now, I think, is going to engender that same kind of decades-long love and loyalty. The stuff that's coming out today it's missing that element that you can't really define, but that kind of like makes us take it into our hearts and love it no matter what. The stuff now is just like not that.
No, I mean, it comes and go. I mean, for example, look at Captain Marvel, right? There was a big deal made out of this movie when it was leading up to it. Then it was released. Has anybody heard anything else since about it? Everything's gone quiet. Where's all these people that thought that this movie was great? Where's all the defenders? They're all gone, you see, because they know that it was actually shit. It just pushed the agenda. And look, they're ruining franchise after franchise after franchise. The MCU looks like it's screwed. It's so screwed, in fact, that they're actually bringing back Iron Man.
Well, that's a desperation. I mean, they're putting it. I mean, I've seen every day you see a story about, they're putting Iron Man in this new cartoon, or Downey's coming back to do this. I think because they know that the quality of the stuff they're about to put out isn't that great, and they need to hedge their bets by throwing back in the stuff that people like, which is Robert Downey or whoever, because I think they know that, look, by itself this stuff is going to bomb.
Yeah, it's just a pity though that they're roping poor Robert Downey Jr. into the MCU. I mean, losing Spider-Man. This is the effect now of losing Spider-Man, right? So for people out there thinking that Captain Marvel was going to be the face of the MCU, They didn't want Captain Marvel to be the face of MCU after all the shitstorm happened. They were banking on Spider-Man being that face. They've lost Spider-Man now, so they turned to the guy that originally started it all off with his movie, which was Robert Downey Jr. with Iron Man. And now they've basically gone full circle now.
And this is probably going to get me a lot of flack in the chat. But I got to say that I think maybe my favorite version of Spider-Man so far is the 70s live action. Nicholas Hammond, I think, on that show was it was not, the effects weren't that great, but I think Nicholas Hammond, who was Peter Parker in that show, was probably the better Peter Parker than any of the movies that have come. So, I mean, I have a lot of affection still for the 70s. I know Stan Lee hated it, but I have a lot of affection for that show. And so we're talking about TV. I'm just going to really quickly to end, kind of go through some of the shows that I grew up with that I still have a lot of love for. I think the first season of Buck Rogers was great. I still have a lot of, I think that was, as a kid, the beady, the tweaky, was great. I think the original Battlestar Galactica, I still have a lot of love for. I think that's terrific. I was even a show that I don't know if they ran this a lot in the UK or Ireland or whatever. I actually thought that the TV version of Logan's Run had some good episodes. Some of it was generic 70s science fiction, but there were a few episodes in that short run where they did really interesting things with the concept after the movie. So I actually like that. I love The Greatest American Hero. I'm really glad that all the reboots attempted reboots over the years have failed, because I think that would just kind of take away from the original. That was a great show. I don't know, Neil, if you ever watched, we're talking about X-Files in the chat today. I don't know if you ever watched Kolchak the Night Stalker, the TV show that was on in the 70s, which was kind of like the vampire hunter, Darren McGavin. That was a great show, and I know that inspired a lot about X-Files. Sapphire and Steel was terrific. I think that people were in the chat today were talking about, well, they should bring back Sapphire and Steel. And I said, if they tried to bring back Sapphire and Steel now, that they would make them two young, hot actors, and they would put them in a relationship, and it would be the exact opposite of everything that show was. So in a way, I'm kind of hoping that they don't bring Sapphire and Steel back. And the last one I want to mention is a show that I really loved. It was in the 90s, and I think it's a shining example of how to do allegorical science fiction right, was Alien Nation.
Oh, I love that.
The television version was Kenneth Johnson, who did, earlier he did the V movies. He was $6 Million Man and The Incredible Hulk. And Alien Nation was a textbook example of a show that can really address some issues, but you still place the writing and the entertainment value of the stories first. And if you can add a message in there, not with a sledgehammer, but in a clever way that makes its point, but doesn't put the characters in service of the message. And Gary Graham, who is such an underrated actor, was so good in that. And that is, that if they tried to do that show today, it would be so insultingly sledgehammer with all of the agenda writing. But as an example of how to do it right, that was really a great show.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love that show myself, actually. It's a great show growing up. They made the movie as well. The movie wasn't great, but
you mean the original theatrical one? Yeah, I know that the show was on for a year and it ended on a cliffhanger, but I think because fans bombarded them so much with wanting to bring it back, I think they brought it back a few years later for like 5 or 6 TV movies that wrapped up the story, but then continued it on. So it was almost kind of like a half season of
Yeah.
TV movies. And anybody who hasn't seen that, who's listening to us today, track it down. I know it's all on DVD. That is really good, solid science fiction.
Yeah, check out Alienation, everybody. Because it is actually very good. Listen, Gary, great call. I'm on again tomorrow.
All right, Noel.
So would you like me to put
Okay.
obviously put you back?
I probably can't tomorrow. Probably later on in the week for sure.
No problem. Okay. Well, nice to have you
But
on
it's great,
again tonight.
great to talk to you as always. And say hi to Cheryl for me.
I
And
will
I hope
indeed.
you're continue to do well.
Thanks very much. I appreciate that, and thank you for coming on tonight. And I appreciate your support.
Absolutely. Okay. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thank you. See ya. And that was Gary, everybody. Another great call. Another great call. Another great call. Some great points there. I actually love Alienation. Loved it. I actually remember when it was actually when it ended on the cliffhanger. Believe it or not. Do you know what? I'm actually going to try track that down now and see if I can actually watch that. That's been the show that I haven't seen in years. So yeah, and it was if I remember correctly, it was gritty. It was quite gritty, if I remember. So yeah, I'll have to try that or watch that again. Yeah. So we might as well move on. What have we got? We've got 12 here. Jesus. Right. So we've got two more callers, and then we are finished with the calls. Yeah, Alienation, go and check it out. I remember in the UK, it was on Sky One when Sky One, I think, first originally came out. That was one of the first shows that they kind of had on their platform. It was Alienation, if I'm correct in saying. It was I think it was Sky One. It was definitely the Sky One or Channel 4, but it was definitely a UK channel where I seen it. Great show. So yeah. So yeah, what was I gonna do? So everybody's in the chat doing okay. I see. Right, everybody is okay. I see that there's a couple of people just had to arrive in the chat. So we have Charlotte Shields here. Welcome along. Nice to have your support. I hope you're enjoying the live stream tonight. And I see Leland is here also. Welcome, Leland. And High Desert 004 is also here. John Guggen is also here with us, and Rossi G12. I've seen those names popping up as I was talking. Milan Reviews. I think I said your name, but there we go again. And I think that's all the new names, yeah. So welcome to the last hour or so of the stream. Hey, no, love your passion. Thanks very much, Charlotte. I appreciate that. And Derek McManus is here. Hail all, greetings to the chat. Welcome. I appreciate it. Right, so we'll get on the next caller, and the next caller is our resident scientist. So as usual. If you have any scientific questions, but this time we're going to try to get Yvette on and see what kind of movies Yvette likes as well. I know a lot of you guys like asking the scientific questions, but it'd be nice to kind of see what kind of stuff Yvette is into, But if you do have some scientific questions you would like me to ask, you know what to do in the chat there, and then I'll ask away. So we'll just see if Yvette is ready. We'll just give Yvette a thumbs up there and just see And then we'll have Michelle on then after that for the last call. Right, so here we go.
Hello.
Hello, Eva. How are you?
You're very quiet.
I'm very quiet. It could be your. Are you
You're so
sure?
quiet.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
You're really quiet.
No. Am I?
Well, that's better.
All right. It must be just okay. I must be covering the speaker so with me book. Right. Okay. So how are you anyway?
I'm great. No, brilliant.
That's good.
As you know.
That's good.
Okay, so happy to have my brains picked as always, but I can start off with some of my favourite movies.
Go ahead there.
If you want now?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm a huge fan of Alien.
Yeah.
The first lot, and unlike any other movie I've ever watched, I think Aliens, the second one, was better than the first.
Right.
That's my opinion. There were more aliens in it. Much
Right.
more exciting. Also, I love the Saw films because they're so unique and original, and it could happen. It's a psychopath human being. I love Final Destination, the first one, because it blew my mind because it was completely original.
Yeah, I like
the
that
others
movie.
We knew what would happen.
I like that Final Destination. I actually, believe it or not,
Yeah,
I'll tell you a little funny little story. So I was actually going away.
Quiet again now.
I was actually going to Portugal, and I actually watched Final Destination the night before I actually got on a plane, believe it or not. Yeah. Of course, the sister thought she was being smart. Oh, we'll watch this, we'll be fine. As soon as she got on the plane, I don't want to sit in the window seat. No, they don't sit in the window. And I'm the one that's afraid of heights, like. So I had to sit in the window seat. Go ahead anyway, sorry.
It wasn't Flight 180, was it?
What? It wasn't Flight 180. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Wasn't it not, Teddy? Wasn't Flight 180.
You've gone quiet again.
It must be your end because everything's been fine. It must be your end.
Hang on. My volume is at max.
Same here. You're up all the way.
How weird. Anyway, other movies. Do you know, I wrote some down. Hang on. Where are they? Let's have a look. I love all disaster movies. Volcano, Armageddon, what was it? Deep Impact, Day After Tomorrow, 2012. Love all that stuff. I love watching the planet get destroyed. Love Gremlins. And I am probably going to say something that's going to annoy everyone, but I am a huge Sharknado fan. Every single one of those films has made me cry with laughter.
No, I could never get into them now myself. I know there is people out there that actually like them for what they are. My movie like that would be the Dead Snow series. The Dead Snow series is my Nazi zombies. What isn't there to like?
So probably my all-time favorite film is John Carpenter's The Thing, 1982. No CGI, and it still scares the willies out of me today.
Yeah, that's a good movie, isn't it, Ted? Do you like The Thing? Ted likes The Thing.
And I also love The Evil Dead lot.
And she likes The Evil Dead. Do you like The Evil Dead, Ted? Ted likes The Evil Dead. Yeah.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, there you go. There's my list.
Nice.
And I hate all reboots. I hate all the reboots.
Right. Let me see if there's any. Event Horizon is disturbing. Yes, it is, actually. It's a good movie. Underrated, believe it or not. I think it was because it was there was a couple of other ones that were out at the same time. I could be wrong now, and correct me if I am, but was the Abyss out at the same time or something?
You know something that no one else knows, but I know someone that was in Event Horizon.
Yeah.
And it was a brilliant film.
It was, wasn't it, Teddy? It was. We like Event Horizon.
Yeah, brilliant film, Event Horizon.
Mm.
And yeah, okay. So, anyone got any questions? Anyone want to break my brain tonight?
It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like everybody's just talking about Sharknado, Event Horizon. You know, you have them all talking about that. Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, we spoke about that. Rocket Runner asks, can you fold space?
Theoretically, yes. That's what Event Horizon did. Basically, folding space, you create a wormhole. So you punch through. So just like in Event Horizon, when they folded that piece of paper and stuck the pencil through it, that is really a wormhole.
Now, Ted, have you learned something new there? Wormholes. Yes, we can time travel. Yes, we can go from point A to point B in a matter of seconds.
Going back in time is beyond our capabilities.
Right, let's see if we have any more questions. I'm going easy on Yvette tonight, says Paul. Right, Yvette, how did the person you know manage to get into Event Horizon?
Well, I can't tell
that is
you
classified information.
Who it is.
It's classified.
But it's someone close to me.
It's classified information. You must understand.
No one knows it is, but he won't spill the beans.
My name is Teddy, and this is classified information. Please do not ask about classified information. Please just ask science questions. Okay, old boy. Is the moon an artificial body? Well, some people do claim that it is an artificial body and that the moon is actually not a real thing and that it's actually a big NASA light bulb or something. But no, I can even answer that. No.
No, and no, and no, and no, and no.
But the moon is made of cheese. Where do you think?
Of course it is.
Yeah, that's where we get all.
Wallace and Gromit went there and had lunch.
No. No, the moon isn't an artificial body, but believe it or not, apparently we have 2 moons or something, not just the one.
Well, yeah. The second one is more of an asteroid.
Yeah.
But some scientists like to classify it as a second moon. It orbits a very funny elliptical orbit, so we don't see it very often.
Right, here's another one for you. Are you going to see Ad Astra, and does that look realistic?
What?
I don't know what that means myself. If you could clarify that'd be great. Hi, Desert Double O. Oh, thanks, buddy. Thank you. Let me see. Yvette, what scientific? She covers quantum physics, man. Quantum physics. I dabble in theoretical physics, but have the wrong political line, says Bull. Yvette, you have a sister. Perhaps she will turn to the dark side, says Derek McManus. That's okay. John Googan says
my sister turned to the dark side many years ago.
John Googan says the moon is made of cheese populated by clangers. And High Desert 004. Hey, let's write a Who episode where the moon is an egg. Yuck, yuck. Yeah, we don't know. Never bring that episode up.
That story was never so ridiculous.
No, seriously, never bring that story up in front of me. I
No,
really
no,
hate that.
it was. Oh,
Here's one I think. Yvette, but how did they manage to get into outer space to end up there in the first place? Are you talking about the moon and all that? How did they end up? Yeah, see these are questions I would ask, but like scientists and she's not going to be able to answer this because nobody knows. The answer is nobody knows.
well,
Nobody knows what was here
they
before the
designed a
universe.
rocket. They
Apparently,
designed the original rocket that just went into space and orbited the Earth. They used rocket fuel, which is what was used in like the Bluebird and that. It was basically you were sat on several thousand tons of a bomb, and they just shot it into space. From then on, they started to think like scientists, and finally got round to doing it right. But yeah, the beginning. I mean, the whole beginning of the space race was all down to
propaganda.
Kennedy and Russia.
Do you believe they put a man on the moon? A man on the moon. That's why REM sing that song, because they're asking you the question. Do you believe they put a man on the moon? Now you got to
They
think
did.
about it logically. They put a man on the moon that has the same watts as a coffee pot. Right?
Do you know what, Noel? Right.
And now they can't.
You guys, all you guys, all know about conspiracy theories, okay? Everyone knows something about some sort of conspiracy theory. Now,
right, go on.
I'm going to tell you guys something that you can think about.
Right, we didn't go to the moon.
Into any details.
We didn't go.
However, I want you to think about this statement I'm going to make to you.
Right, we didn't go to the moon.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
If you can think of it, there is a scenario in an envelope somewhere. Regardless of what it is. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Is that it?
You'll have to think about that one, guys. But seriously, if you can think of it, there's a scenario for it. Literally. Anything. Oh, everyone's gone quiet.
Michelle says, yes, we did go to the moon. Can you prove it?
Can I prove they went to the moon?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's enough footage out there.
Yeah, I knew you was going. I knew you were going to say that. Sorry, but can I just say something? Look. You do different science, right? So I'm not slagging you off here, right? But I'm going to tell you one thing now, right? Right, here's the thing, right? So NASA, right? So we've got scientists at NASA, right? They're supposed to be a clever bunch of people, right? Now,
they are.
Right, well, no, they're not really that clever because I'll tell you why, right?
I've done work at NASA.
No, hang on, no, hear me out first. Hear me out, they're not, right? And I'll tell you why they're not, right? So, the biggest achievement that this planet has ever done, man's greatest achievement, right? Okay? And the guys at NASA, right? Now, guys, listen to this, right? This is how stupid the people are at NASA, right? They lost all the telemetry, right? They lost all the original data, right? To man's biggest achievement, right? And not just the first moon landing, by the way. They lost the telemetry for everything, right? Every moon landing that happened, right? And they lost all the information. Man's great. And by the way, the NASA footage, and people can say conspiracy theories if they want, right? But the NASA footage that you see of Neil Armstrong stepping foot on the moon is not even first-party footage. It's third-party footage. It's like it was relayed from one place to another place to another place. That's why we get the distorted image. They had high-definition footage of the moon landing, and they wiped it clean. right? So man's biggest achievement, right? They lose the original telemetry, they lose the original data, right? Then they actually lose the high, or actually they record over the high resolution footage that they actually had of the moon. Instead, we get the grainy footage. Now I'm gonna let Yvette stay on a little few more minutes longer because obviously I'm making a point and she hasn't had the chance to answer. So, but what I'm gonna say is that these people can't be smart if they lost this stuff. And if you listen to Tyson deGrasse and scientists like that talk out in NASA and actually listen to what they say, they come across as bumbling idiots. They actually don't know what they're talking about. And if you actually look at most of their IDM profiles, they're not classed as scientists, they're down as actors. Right? NASA is full of actors.
A lot
NASA
of them
is
are
full
more
of,
mechanical
no offense. I
engineers.
know you worked, and I'm not slagging the science that you work at, right? You're actually trying to do so. But the thing about it is, you can't prove to me, right? Or any scientist out there could prove to me that we landed on the moon. Because if people are going to say, well, we put reflectors up there, the moon is naturally reflective anyway. So you could choose a laser at that moon and it reflect back anyway. So don't buy the laser theory either. Here's the thing with the high definition cameras that we have now, they even have a telescope up there in space. They could dispel this whole thing straight away anyway. Do you know what I mean? But they don't, right? Then you look at all the photographs that they have, and they actually have what are those crosses called again? There's a word for those crosses that they have on the photographs, but they're out of place, right? They're in different places. The photographs, all the NASA photographs, every single one of them, and I mean every single one of them, from the Mars photographs to the moon photographs, have all been altered and edited in some way. So what are they hiding? You know what I mean? So they're either hiding something or they never went to the moon in the first place and they're not really on Mars. So what is it? They're either hiding something or they've been lying to us. And for people that say that they couldn't fool anybody back in the 60s to land on the moon, to pretend that they land on the moon, of course they could. Of course they could. It would have been simple back then. So bloody simple. I'm not saying we didn't land on the moon, but what I'm saying is there is nothing that NASA has shown me that I believe that would make me believe that we went to the moon. That's just my opinion on it. I think I just don't like NASA. I really don't. And SpaceX, I had hope for them, but now they're tied in with NASA. Any of these private space companies always end up being under NASA, and that's what I don't like. Where's the independent space companies that we were all promised so they could actually, unlock some of these questions? I mean, even NASA scientists themselves say that they don't have the technology to go back to the moon, right? So they were able to go to the moon in tinfoil in when was the first moon landing again? 1969?
1969, one
Right.
month after I was born.
Yeah, there you go. So they were able to go to the moon on basically a tin pot, but they can't now because apparently the Van Allen radiation belts are so dangerous. But in 69, they went in a rocket. And he went to, and has anybody seen the LEM? It's full of bleeding gold, kind of like tinfoil material. Like they were protected by millimeters of bloody tinfoil, right? So how was that able to protect them from the radiation? Look, there's just so many unanswered questions about the moon. I honestly don't believe, me personally, I don't think we went to the moon. I think it's the biggest hoax that's ever happened. I think the moon is just out of our reach for human beings. I'm not saying we haven't landed rovers on it. I'm not, because they have landed, the Chinese have landed one on it. I'm not saying they haven't even landed rovers on Mars. They probably quite possibly have. But human beings leaving this earth and going past the Van Allen radiation belts, in my opinion, is impossible.
Okay, well,
Go ahead.
I do believe that. I respect.
No, okay. Yeah.
I do believe they landed on the moon. But you've got to remember, I'm a quantum physicist. I am not an expert when it comes to rockets astronauts landing on planets and everything else they send out. My only involvement's been with the quantum computer. But I think everyone has their own opinions on it, and it'll go on forever until they put someone on the moon again.
Yeah, but see,
Just
here's the
to,
thing, though, right? Here's the thing, though, Yvette. You know for a fact, right, with all the money that NASA gets, right, that they could do the simple thing, right? I mean, they're supposed to have satellites around the moon, right? They're supposed to be have all these satellites that's supposed to be taking data at the moon and all this stuff, right? You mean to tell me that they can't send another probe? Now I know there was those images from the Japanese, wasn't it? The Japanese Space Agency, but they weren't close enough to see anything. Yeah, you seen a bit of a track and a little bit of a hole.
Yeah, because they did the dark side of the moon and they screwed it up.
Right. So why doesn't someone go back then? If the Americans could stop this in one fell swoop and say, right, okay, you just want to prove it. We'll even do it on live television to show you that this is not. There you go. We landed on the moon. Case closed. Bob's your uncle. We went to the moon. And then the question I'd be asking then is, why haven't you went back? Because if a bit of radiation is stopping you, it didn't stop you in the 60s. See, this is the thing, Yvette, that I find hard to believe, right? They actually destroyed all the information that would have got them back to the moon again. Because you know as well as I do that the International Space Station is not going to be viable for too much longer. What, give it another, 10, 20 years? That won't be viable.
Not even that, no. It's not even that.
Exactly, won't be viable. So the best next place and logical place to build at would be on the moon.
Yep.
So I don't know. Look, the science that you deal with, I have a lot of time for, and don't get me wrong. I'd listen to you, not a bother. But I just, when it comes to anybody that works for NASA themselves, like directly, no, I just don't have time.
I don't work direct for NASA. I do contract.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe anything you tell me. Oh Jesus, I'm about to give myself a bleeding fright there. I wouldn't believe anything they tell me. Wouldn't believe anything they tell me. I mean, look, there's just so many unanswered questions.
It's not my science.
Yeah, I know.
It's too big for me.
No more moon
you know, the physics is invisible. So, yeah, I mean, again, conspiracy theories, as I said, if you can think about it, there is an envelope with a scenario in it.
Yeah, but there again, there's another word, conspiracy theory. But here's the thing, though, you can't prove it either way, so it shouldn't be really called a conspiracy theory until you prove it. Just because one company says that they landed on the moon and you have photographs and you have video footage doesn't necessarily mean that you went there. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, this is one that will rage on forever.
Oh, of course it will. It's like the Kennedy one. It's like all the other ones. Or I actually should do a conspiracy theory one. I should actually do a conspiracy theory night. Actually, that should be good.
I mean, Roswell was.
Well, there's Stonehenge. Someone wrote, Yvette, what is the meaning of Stonehenge and the pyramids? Just before Yvette answers actually that one. Stonehenge, by the way, is not all that it seems, because Stonehenge in the 50s was renovated. Those rocks, the way they're actually sitting, mightn't actually be the way they were actually put there thousands of years ago. They actually renovated that.
You're totally right there, no. You are totally right.
Yeah.
Have visited Stonehenge, and I've been in 2 of the pyramids in Egypt.
Same as me mum and dad, yeah.
Chronic backache. As for Stonehenge has been around before the Romans, before God knows how old. Nobody knows how old it is.
Here, didn't they
find?
We do know
it lines up with the equinox of the summer solstice and the winter solstice.
Yeah, didn't they find an underground? Didn't archaeologists find something or something? They did some sort of X-rays of the ground or something, and they found an underground bloody thing. Yeah, And
They
it's
did a
mad because
ground
Doctor Who did that
penetrating-
in an episode, the Pandorica.
Mm.
You're quite interesting.
They did they called them they thump the ground and it sends a beam out like a radar to see if there's any disturbances underneath, and they thought they found a tunnel. However, the people that run Stonehenge won't let them investigate it. So that's that. The pyramids, okay. I do believe I have a reasonable explanation for the pyramids. I think it was a mix of slaves and fanaticals. Having spent 3 months in Egypt myself, I know they floated the blocks up the Nile from Aswan, or the alabaster, and then the Nile at the time was rerouted so it was near the pyramids. And then they offloaded them and dragged them, and it was a phenomenal. I mean, you just can't wrap your heads around the fact that human beings actually did that. And oh my God, if anyone mentions aliens to me, I will scream.
John Guggen said because so John lives near Stonehenge. He says, I live not far from Stonehenge. During the war they took it down, then reassembled it after it ended. Not the same layout as the original builders. Wow.
No, he's right. He's right. That's exactly what happened.
Wow. Yeah, because again, this is the whole thing that I've been trying to just say, and I'm not dismissing scientists, right? I'm not. Like I am open-minded, but when I have my mind made up on something, I have to see things. I'm one of those people, which is probably annoying for some people, but I actually look at for me to believe that someone was on the moon, I'd actually have to get in a rocket myself and be brought there, right? That's the only way I'm ever going to believe that we landed on the bloody moon. Right?
You know what, Noel?
What?
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
Give me God's phone number and I'll believe in him.
That's it. The pyramids, Leland Gaunt says, the pyramids were built by highly skilled craftsmen, not slaves. Well, that's highly debatable.
Well, that's
now,
what
Leland.
I said. There were slaves involved, but there were a lot of fanatical people.
Well, sure, they found graves, sure.
And
they
created
found,
them.
Look, even around the areas around the pyramids, they've been doing, they're digging all over the art. They actually have found whole cities that were specially built for these people there was a mix of slaves and there was a mix of,
loads.
It's been hard. But here's the thing about history, though.
That had wine and things.
Yeah, but here's the thing, history. Again, with history, I'm kind of, you look at the books, the history books. I'm very wary when it comes to history books because remember, and it is a true fact, history gets manipulated all the time, right? So certain events happen that change the course of history. You know what I mean?
History is written by the winners.
So that's what I'll say about that. Right, listen, Yvette, I'm going to put you down again for tomorrow because obviously, there's not, like Daniel, there's no point in asking you if you want to come on again. I'll just put you down on the list.
I don't mind. I'm happy if you get some new callers. I don't mind.
No, look at the more callers I get on this, the better because then I'm doing less talking. And I mean, like, I think everybody likes listening. I know people like listening to me, but I think people like listening to you guys as well. Do that, Noel. That'll be a good live stream. I will. Do you know what? Tomorrow's live stream we'll do a conspiracy theory live stream. So anybody that's not into conspiracy theories, obviously, then not to join tomorrow night.
All right, no. Well,
but you know what?
We'll
bring Yvette on because maybe Yvette can try and explain a few if I have any other questions.
Thanks, Noel.
By the way, sorry for going a bit rough on you there. If you thought I did. Look, it's like you, right? I have very strong opinions when it comes to certain things, right? And I say you're the same as well, and you'll fight your corner.
Yeah.
You know, and as a scientist, it probably is hard listening to someone saying that they don't really trust scientists because, you know, we do. In fairness, I will say this: we do rely on scientists, though, because you know we don't understand the universe, we don't understand how our planet works, and you are the guys, I suppose, that we do turn to. Uh, so you know, as I said, I am open-minded. It's just you know, if not, look, I hope we went to the moon. I really do, because you know what, that is something to be proud of, and even still, all this time later, that is something to be proud of. If we went to the moon, that is a great achievement. But the thing that pisses me off is if we did go to the moon, right, and we did this wonderful thing, why haven't we back? We should be honoring those men as well now. You know what I mean? Who's left? Buzz Aldrin, isn't he the last one that's left now out of them all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buzz is the only one.
Buzz is the only one left, like. No, is he the only one of the astronauts that went to the moon, or is he just the last one of Apollo 11?
Oh no, he Buzz is the last one of the moon landing.
Wow. But there you go, man. Do you know what I mean? Look, we should have been looking. And here's another thing. You watch, right? I don't know who's going to be president of the United States and how many years is the election. No, I don't give a shit. But wait and you see, right? The presidential
Next year.
candidate, whoever it is, right? Whoever wins is going to make a big speech and going to say, and we're going to get man on the moon by 2035. And then we hope to land the man on Mars by 2040. And it'll never happen. NASA have been saying since the 80s. You go back and watch every presidential speech from Reagan all the way up. Every single president has promised that they'll build an American moon base, right? They'll build a base on the moon, right? They'll promise that they'll have people on Mars, right? The last time we were supposed to have someone on Mars by, I think it was George W. Bush. He said we'd have humans on Mars by 2020. Sure, that's next year. Now it's being pushed back again. Now it's 2023 or something. When 2023 comes along, then it'll be what? Sorry?
Mars will not happen in our lifetime.
No, it won't. Of course it won't. Jesus Christ, if we can't get back to the moon, we're hardly going to go to Mars.
I completely agree. We are never, not in our lifetime. No, not in our lifetime.
It's a pity.
And I'd stake my reputation on that.
No, it's a pity because do you know what? Like the older generation have their moon landing, you know, and I feel a bit. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds a bit childish, but I feel like we deserve that moment as well. I'd love to see, seriously, I would love to be sitting down, like everybody around the world, sitting down watching me scream. Now, don't get me wrong. I'd still be sitting there kind of thinking, oh, these fuckers have are pulling the wool over their eyes again, right? But
apparently I watched it live. I was 1 month old. My parents stuck me in front of the black and white TV, and I watched the moon landing. I have no recollection of it, of course.
Look,
my mother has told me that.
I got a telescope, right? I got a telescope off the family because of the moon. I got into sci-fi because of the moon, right? I've just had a fascination with that light in the sky all my life. Seriously, more than even the sun. Just something about the moon that I've always been attracted to. And when I heard that we were supposed to land on this thing, and then when I look at the science behind it, it seems impossible. Even scientists back there, they even say it's impossible. And it's just, even the guy that, what's his name, Van Braun, wherever his name is, he even said it'd be impossible. I just don't know.
Yeah, they were definitely pure luck, those launches in the beginning. But,
do you think so, though? Do you think so? Do you think that was just pure luck that we got to the moon?
No, I think it was pure luck they got the bleeding rockets into orbit.
Yeah, I agree with you, because even before Apollo 11 even lifted off, a couple of months beforehand, sure, a rocket blew up. See, these are the little things. I don't know. Everything just seemed to come together on that day and just seemed to go off. Now, I know it wasn't perfect. According to Neil Armstrong, it wasn't perfect. He actually had to do a little maneuver as he was landing on the bed. Yeah, Werner von Braun, yeah, the Nazi. Yeah, they took a lot of the Nazis. And they used, and they used the V8, wasn't it? The V8. They yeah. So from the V8, then it went on from then. I know, seriously, listen, I know everything there is to know about Apollo, right? Even from the Gemini missions all the way back. Every single mission that they had, even from the lower Earth orbit to the fucking higher Earth orbit, every single mission.
Many of the rockets blew up before they hit orbit. Half of them didn't even make it out the atmosphere.
I know, sure. They even said, what's his name? Van Braun said himself that he actually thought that the moon, that Kennedy's vision to go to the moon would be impossible. He was the guy that designed these rockets, and he was even saying it was impossible. I don't know how they were able to get from there to there in the short amount of time that they actually did. I honestly believe that this whole space race was started, and it's a theory among all of us so-called conspiracy theorists that the moon, the whole moon thing was just the thing to bankrupt the USSR. Because obviously, let's be honest, the Russians were better at it when it came to space anyway.
The Russians are better at it, full stop. They're still doing it.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, you needed something, and maybe this whole moon thing was just a way to basically bankrupt the Soviet Union because, again, we'll see. I could be proven wrong. They might, NASA might, if anybody from NASA is watching, by the way, could you do us a favor? You have got a big telescope up there, or you could create one that does a 24. Actually, why don't you do that, NASA? I got one for you guys, right? So you get billions off the US, your US citizens, right? So it's their money essentially, right? So we've got a nice little satellite up there that we'd like to see. So why don't you just put up permanent cameras up there on the moon landing sites? Not the way you have the cameras that they have all around. You can look at cameras all around the world. Like you can sit here and you can watch your camera in say Miami Beach or something. Why not put cameras up on the moon? Put them on each landing site. Put cameras there so people can go onto their computer then and have a look at the landing sites on their computer. Why not do that?
No.
Yeah?
You need to go on to Hubble online. Hubble has pictures of the landing sites and of the mirror they bounce the lasers off of. And it's also got like the moon buggy, etc. on there.
Right.
Hubble took all those pictures.
Right, and I'm not saying that, but again, I would have doubts because they're photographs from NASA. So
No, it's Hubble.
Right, I know,
the Hubble telescope.
Yeah, I know
it's
Hubble.
Owned by NASA.
Who owns Hubble?
Hubble's owned by like the United Nations. It's a joint.
They say that. Come on, you know as well as I do. NASA went up to fix the bleeding mirror, for God's sake. NASA.
Glass half full, no. Glass half full.
Look,
a little bit of faith.
All right, but in fairness, though, do you not think that'd be the cheaper option, though? Think about it. You could have cameras up there, not a bother. 24-hour live stream of the moon landing sites. I don't think that's a bad thing.
I do not have a problem with what you're saying there. I'm just saying, check out the Hubble pictures. I mean, Hubble is just amazing.
Yeah, the Russians sent a monkey and a dog to space. Incredible. Yeah, the Russians did send a monkey and a dog to space. The dog's name was Tito, was it? Or something, the dog? Yeah, that was sad.
I tell you what, no, next time I'm on, remind me to tell you about the worst day of my life.
Right. You're going to be on tomorrow, so you can tell me tomorrow.
Because it is the most unbelievable thing that ever happened to me.
Oh, yeah, it was I can't say that word. It was Lakia, the dog. Yeah. Yeah. Poor
It
dog.
was in Africa.
Lakia, or wherever you call it. Actually, by the way, does anybody believe in that? Just before I let Yvette go, because it'd be interesting to hear what Yvette has to say about this. So apparently the Russians were supposed to beat the Americans into space, right? But apparently it was way before they were supposed to, and they sent a woman up into space. Now apparently
did.
this Russian cosmonaut, she died. But they've covered it
Yeah.
up. The Russians obviously have lost loads of people in space, but they just propaganda. They'll
Yes.
never actually say. And the Americans have lost their fair share as well. We've seen that. But we don't know the ones that they've lost that they've never spoke about, because there is always those. And anybody that thinks that there isn't, there is. Trust me. That's the way it goes. It was space race. Of course, there's always going to be secrets on both sides. But yeah, that's it. Valentina Terzeschi got have you actually listened to the audio? There's actually audio of her in our space capsule. You can actually hear the audio.
I have heard it.
Have you heard it?
Heard it.
What do you think?
Yeah,
Is that real, Yvette? Do you think that's real, or do you think that was a hoax?
I actually believe it's real, because the tone and the accent, and although when they translate it, it looks very official.
Yeah.
That is not what's coming out of her mouth. They're just translating it into what it should be that she's saying.
Right.
You can hear it in her voice.
Yeah, she is actually. Yeah. And considering that she knows she's gonna die any second, I actually think, even though she does sound panicky, she's actually kind of quite. It
doesn't matter what language she's speaking, you can hear it in her voice.
Yeah. Here's one from Paul for you.
Believe that.
Here's one from Paul for you, right? And he said, all jokes aside, he said there was a body discovered just beyond Pluto. What does Yvette think about that? Or a possible real-life 10th planet?
Body of what? A human body?
No, basically there was a body discovered just beyond Pluto. So a spatial. Basically, what he's trying to say is it could be a 10th planet. Do you remember the scientists were saying that there is something beyond Pluto?
Yeah. Oh, the argument rages on about this. It rages on and on and on. I know scientists that were good friends are now not speaking to each other over all this crap. They should have left Pluto as our 9th planet and let it be. But no, they just can't help themselves.
No, what he's asking is...
Astrophysicists mess with shit.
What he's asking is that people are saying that there might be another planet beyond Pluto. That there was actually, So that's what he's asking. Is there another...
No, there is. There is a planetary size asteroid.
Right.
It is not in the shape of a planet. It's an ovally type egg thing. But because of its size and its orbit, some ridiculously stupid scientists want to name it as a planet. And I don't agree at all. So there you go. That's my opinion.
Right.
It's not even round. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but neither is this planet.
Okay, it's off by a few, but this thing looks like a giant raptor egg.
Okay, I get your point. Yeah, that is a bit of an eggy one. Right, Yvette, listen.
Oh my God, my brain hurts.
Oh God, this has been an interesting one tonight.
Yeah,
listen,
well, no one asked me anything about what I actually know.
Well, listen, what I'll do is, we're going to be talking about conspiracies tomorrow, and we'll throw in a bit of space. So maybe I'll get Yvette on for the first 15 minutes, and we'll talk a little bit about space, and then we'll do the conspiracy, and then we'll do and then the story, and then we'll do the conspiracy stuff. But if anybody, now listen, folks, right? Here's what I want you all to do tonight, right? After this live stream is up, basically, right, I want you to go and find. Obviously, everybody has a conspiracy theory that they actually love or don't believe in or believe in, right? So, whatever conspiracy theory that you do believe in or you don't believe in, what I basically want you to do is I want you to write down what that conspiracy theory is and basically come up with reasons why you either believe it might be true or reasons why you think it may not be true, right? So,
Can I bag the Area 51 and Roswell, please?
of course you can. You could do. Of course you can. Of course you can. You're the scientist, so if you want to do Area 51, that is brilliant, right? So listen, it doesn't have to be the obvious ones, guys, right? Obviously, Yvette will do the Area 50 because she is a scientist, so we let Yvette indulge Area 51.
It's only slightly sciencey, but I actually wrote a paper on it. The actual conspiracy theory about Roswell, the aliens, and Area 51.
That's what,
so
yeah.
I really would like to do that one.
Yeah. Well, see there, Unknown 289 says, I'm going to hunt down a theory nobody talks about. Exactly. And I'm going to do the same tonight as well. I'm going to look for those ones that are not really talked about. Don't get me wrong, if you want to talk about the main ones, you can talk about the main ones as well. But that's what I want.
One of our guys is really big on the Mandela effect. He should do that one.
Yeah, if you just want to talk, exactly. If you just want a conspiracy theory one from Gary, this stream doesn't exist. It is a mass illusion. Delusion. I agree, Gary. It is a mass delusion because do you know how I know it's a mass delusion? Because I'm self-aware.
But we're on a different alternate planet, so no one can hear us anyway.
Actually, have you all heard of that theory? Actually, I believe this one, and I believe that the human race have been stumped. Basically, we've been held back a few hundred years. I also believe, as I've said earlier, obviously our history is being manipulated, but I think there's a lot of our past that has been buried or that we don't know about. And I think humans are actually on this planet a lot longer than we're led to believe. Now, that's not because scientists are lying or anything. That's just because, like, you know, there's things that are being found now that don't correspond with dates and, you know, but they find these buildings, as I said, that are not correlating with the time period that they're supposed to be in. Apparently, we could be missing nearly a century, 2 centuries of our history, which is 200 years of our history. If that's true, we should be more advanced than what we actually are right now. Now,
look at the deserts with all those giant drawings. I mean, they're just freaky as hell.
Yeah. Look at the giant steps as well, for example, that have been discovered. The giant skulls that have been found. Look at, there's a lot of things we do not know about the history of this planet. And you know what? While we are reaching out to the stars, looking to explore Mars and the moon and stuff, there's still plenty on this planet. Plenty on this planet to explore.
I'm reaching out beyond that.
There, Stephen
Griffiths
lost some parts of our history in nothing new. Let me introduce you to the Dark Ages, says Stephen Griffiths. That's a good one, Stephen. But yeah, our history.
What was that?
Stephen Griffiths says, lost some parts of our history. Nothing new. Let me introduce you to the Dark Ages. But seriously, like, they reckon there's a lot, and I do believe that the human race we've been held back. I really do, and it is actually apparently now according to science. And again, you know, I criticize science, but then on one hand, then I kind of use science to make me point. But apparently, scientists say that we used to use a lot more of our brain than we are now. And apparently we used to have there's some human beings right now that can do amazing things with their minds, right? They can actually move objects as well. They can talk telepathically. Now, whether you believe in all that or not, these are some of the things that I do believe in. I don't actually believe.
I don't dismiss things like that.
Yeah, I don't actually believe that we originated on this planet either, believe it or not. But that's for a whole nother stream tomorrow night.
We didn't originate on this planet
No.
because this planet was created by the solar system.
So we're out there somewhere.
That's a fact.
We're Star Trekking across the universe.
Right, go on. I've been on way too long.
No problem. Thanks for coming on, and
Always.
no problem. And we will talk tomorrow.
All right, sweet.
Right.
Love to everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Say good night, Teddy. Night.
Night, Daddy.
Right. Good night, Yvette. We'll talk to you tomorrow. And that was Yvette, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay, Michelle. I kind of ran over time on that last call. So what I'll do is what I'll do with you is who have I got first on the list? I hate having to do this, but I know you wanted to come on. So who was first on the list? It would have been Neil. Do you know what? I'm gonna leave Neil first on the list because Neil obviously has to, So I'll put you if the last Time Lord doesn't mean, I'll put you after the last Time Lord for tomorrow, if you're available, Michelle. And Yvette, brilliant as always. Listen, I hope you don't think that I'm going down hard on scientists. I just believe that there's so much that they don't tell us, and I just don't like. I don't know. I think it's human nature to not have things kept from you, and I certainly don't like things kept from me, especially things like that. I mean, again, we'll talk about this in tomorrow's stream. Now, I know there's some people that follow me that are not keen on tomorrow night's stream, but look, I just want to do something different. And even if you don't agree with what we talk about, as I said, tonight, why don't you go off and find one of those little conspiracy theories or something that you haven't really heard of that actually might interest you, even, or even have a look at one, and then you can come back and tell me whether you like it or not. For example, there's one out there. I'll just throw a few. It's not really obscure ones, but ones that not many people would know. People on this side of the pond will probably know them a little bit more. But apparently, Paul McCartney from the Beatles was supposed to get his head severed in a car crash. And then when he came back, then the people are saying it's a different guy that took over. That's one. Apparently, as I said, there was that other one that I said about a terrorist attack that happened in New York back in the 1900s or something that was never really reported about. It was a kind of like one of those man there slip in time ones. It's weird. And then, of course, then you've got those ones of people that have claimed to have been from the future. Do you know what, actually? See those ones, though? Those ones actually annoy me, right? Because the ones where they say that they've been in the future, right? And then they say, but I took photographs, right? But you see absolutely nothing in the photographs. Like if you're from the future, why didn't you just, I don't know, rob some technology or something and try bring it back? Prove it. Someone took a picture. Oh, look, there's an older version of myself. You could have just found this double ganger, John Guggen says Fatima was an extraterrestrial event. If you actually look, John, that's an interesting point that you bring up, because if you actually look at some of the ancient art, you will actually see. There's one particular picture. It's isn't it the Madonna and Child? Is it the painting, the Madonna and Child? There's an actual orb in the sky. Actually, John, if you want to come on tomorrow night and actually talk about that, mate, More than welcome. That's something that I'm actually interested in as well. Like, I could talk to you for hours about that, to be quite honest with you. That whole thing, I agree with you. I think that something did actually happen back then. And I think the reason why things happened more back then is because you look at us now. I mean, we're a bunch of mad crazy feckers now. Why would they want to come anywhere near us now? Um, so yeah, if you want to come on, John, no problem. You're on a messenger, so I mean, I could ring you tomorrow. Come on, even for 10 minutes if you want. If you're not comfortable coming on for the 15-20 minutes. Um, but listen, guys, I'm gonna wrap up now. I hope you have enjoyed tonight's live stream. I have. I wanted to kind of I know I kind of skewed off a little bit. But that's what happens on live streams. Listen, before you all go, if you haven't liked the video, please give the video a like, obviously. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, and I've seen that there's a few people that have joined the live chat tonight. If you haven't subscribed, please do join the channel. And also, if you would like to come on at some stage to have your say, please do. Thanks everyone for being lovely, says Charlotte Shields. Listen, everybody in this chat is actually very nice. And you know what the funny thing is, there's so many of them in there, right? And I've spoke to most of them. And I mean most of them personally. Because that's how nice people are. You know, you'll always get a text. You know what I mean? Every day I wake up, there's a text off someone asking me how me and Cheryl and Ted are. You know, very caring people out there. So, you know, you're in safe hands in this chat. Trust me. Everybody is good, and I mean, look, you've seen it yourself. If that does happen, it's dealt with quickly anyway. We don't allow any, nastiness in this chat. Everybody, look, even if Pro Jody fans want to be in this chat, they're more than welcome to come in. The only problem is that when they do come in, they like to have a dig instead of actually just coming in and trying to have a decent conversation. And don't get me wrong, I'd have a Pro Jody fan on the calls and let them have their opportunity to talk. The only problem is that I know once I got them on, they'd have a dig at me instead of actually talking about what they said they were going to talk about. Maybe one day I might get one that actually stays true to that and will come on and actually talk about the show, because I'd like to hear from their point of view, because we do hear from our point of view why we don't like it. I'd like to know why they like the show, because it rattles my brain. I just can't understand how. Maybe they can make me understand, or maybe it's just because, like what a lot of these fans actually do say, and I hate to admit it, maybe this era just isn't for me. Maybe it's just because, politics and society has changed, and maybe I am an old dinosaur, But I don't really believe that, to be quite honest with you. I'm not an old dinosaur. I just have traditional values, I'm not, as I've said on this channel, we're all for equality. Nobody it has never, not been for equality. The problem is that what's happening right now is that there just seems to be a certain demographic that's being represented, but everybody else is basically told, well, listen, this is the way it goes, and if you don't like it, it's basically bye-bye. But that's not how it should work. You're supposed to, look at Russell T Davis, right? I will never like him for bringing the romance element to the Doctor and the Companion, right? But there's one thing I will say about him, is that man was very clever, right? In the fact that he knew how to get classic Who fans on board and new fans on board. Now, I'm not going to sit here and criticize every fan since 2005, because I'm not, because they're not bad. They're not, because I even remember the fandom in 2005. It was actually a lovely place to be, and most of those fans were lovely. The fandom started changing after the politics start coming more and more to the forefront of the show, and particularly under Moffat, it started then. Then the fandom started to get a bit more radical, right? So I mean, it's not just Chibnall's era, right? So it's not just fans that have only joined Chibnall's era that are the toxic ones, right? There's been a few toxic ones around since Moffat's era, right? Because that's what his era started bringing that crap into it, and then of course then because that crap was in Doctor Who and it was actually decent, it was attracting these toxic people to the fandom, but they were actually enjoying the show as well. But then what happened was then is so many of them then ended up in the fandom because they actually genuinely liked the show. Then of course then you see these yourselves when Peter Capaldi was cast. Then look at season 8. Season 8 is actually a perfect example. You'll see the lull. You'll actually see that the fans walked away. These fans walked away because the Doctor was too old in their opinion. But these are fans that don't respect the history of the show. And I don't care what these fans say. At the end of the day, it's not your show. It was our show. The writers decided to, get more people on board, which we're okay with. But it's like as if you have a self entitlement that this is user show. No, we're the ones with the self entitlement. It's our show. We stayed around during the bad years. We're still gonna stay around during this era, right? We might criticize, right? We're always going to criticize the era or we're going to criticize something that we don't like. And this has been going on for decades, believe it or not. This is not a new phenomenon, right? This is what you pro Jodie fans need to get through your heads. This is not a new phenomenon. Everybody has had a go at every Doctor all the way through, right? And for some weird reason, because the Doctor is a woman now, you're not allowed. Well, I'm sorry. It's called equality, right? And that's what you want. So if Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is shit, I'm going to say she's shit. If I think our era is shit, and if I think Chris Chibnall's era is shit, I'm going to say it's shit. I'm not going to hide behind. And another thing as well, just before I leave, nobody should be apologizing for their opinions. I'm sick of this now. I see it every day on Twitter. What are you apologizing for? What are people? It's like those comedians that say something, right? And then they get a bit of flack for it, and then they come out and apologize, right? Don't be coming out and apologize. You're showing weakness there. What are you apologizing for? It's their problem that they have a problem. It's not your problem. This is the problem. I'm not saying how many times to say problem in that sense. This is the problem, though, with society now. Everybody is worried about upsetting someone. Well, do you know what? I'm not worried about upsetting anybody, and maybe that's why I get all the flack that I get, because I don't buy into all that. I don't care if your feelings are upset because I have an opinion on something that you don't agree with. Right? Get over yourself. Who the hell do you think you are? You know what I mean? It's just society, the way things are. Do you know what? It's starting to change though. Slowly but surely it's changing. As I said, the Dave Chappelle Sticks and Stones, go and watch it if you haven't. And I said it every night I'm doing a live stream, I will throw that out there. Sticks and Stones, Dave Chappelle, right? It's starting. The Joker movie. Go and watch it. Even if you don't like clowns, go and watch the movie. Do you know why? Because the woke journalists are having a field day with it. Same with Pennywise. It Chapter 2. Go and watch it. Why should you go and watch it? Because the woke clowns in the media are having a field day over it. These are the movies that we should be supporting, right? These are the type of TV shows that we should be supporting. Look at The Orville when The Orville came out, right? It was criticised and slammed by the critics. But look at the audience score. This is how we do it. This is how we're going to break the camel's back, as they say, right? We keep supporting these type of things, and then Hollywood, they will. Eventually, everybody will have to course correct. There's only so much of this that can go on. This has just gone on longer than I thought ever possible, to be quite honest with you. I didn't think it would last this long, and it has. And this is why this needs to end soon, because if it doesn't end anytime soon, it's never ending. It's never ending, and then it gets worse. And just one final thing before I go. I just want to address the singer Sam Smith. Now, he did the song for Spectre, the James Bond tune. So anybody that watches the Bond franchise knows who I'm talking about. So apparently now he wants to be identified as they and them or something. So people have been putting up the lyrics of his songs now where he calls himself a him. Look, this thing is this is getting ridiculous now, right? Look at Sam Smith. Whether you like it or not, you've got a penis. You're a man, right? You're not a him. You're not a they. You're not a this, that, and the other, right? You're a male. Get over yourself, right? I refuse, and I'm being honest. I will not, and I don't care, and I'll go to prison for it. I am not going to. I am not going to change the way I believe things are, right? Because a few people in society think that I should. For example, I am not going to be one of these people that will say, well, if you want to identify as I don't give a shit. I don't give a crap. As far as I'm concerned, and all this misgendering bollocks, I don't buy it. Don't care. Don't care. Look, if you want to go in and get surgery and do your bits, that's fine, right? You want to identify as a woman or a man, that's fine, right? It is. It's actually fine. Do it all you want, right? But at the end of the day, you're not going to change society because you've decided to do that, or change the language that we use, or try then educate our kids on something that we don't know everything about as well. Sam Smith explains his pronouns. Could it be his career is stalling and he wants to be relevant again after 5 minutes? Do you know what, Rocker Runner? I don't know. I don't really care. It's getting ridiculous now at this stage. I mean, I think Charlize Theron as well has said that she's not going to identify her child as I think she had a girl or a boy or something. I think it was a boy, but she's not going to identify it as that. They're going to let the child choose their own identities or whatever the fuck that is. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what the hell has happened with society? Am I the only one that's saying, or am I the one that's insane? Because I don't know. I mean, I woke up one morning and all this shit started happening. I really do believe, man, that this Mandela effect is at to put me in a different reality, because this can't be my reality. Because I remember waking up. I remember a day where you could actually have an opinion and people didn't agree with you. That was fine. You might have an odd argument with someone over something, but it wouldn't be like the crap that you're getting now. I don't know. Right, listen, I know I rambled on a little bit there, but that's what I do on this channel. I always add it. Even the wife says you say goodbye about 50 times before you actually say goodbye. So I'm actually gonna say goodbye now. So listen, good night. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. So if you all want to check me out, I'll put the links up in the usual places, right? Twitter, Facebook, Messenger. And I'll put the link up an hour before the live stream so you can all get in the chat and have these our little conversation. So that'll be put up at 9 p.m. UK time. So just in case, because I always get messages when you put the stream up, I'll put it up at 9 o'clock. So yeah, so I'll put it up an hour beforehand. And believe it or not, the actual stream, the live chat didn't go tonight. It's been the first time now since this all started happening 3 weeks ago. We've been having problems for. So this was the first night that the live chat didn't actually go. So I'm actually delighted. Listen, good night. Talk to you all tomorrow for the conspiracy live stream. I'll obviously use one of the conspiracy thumbnails for tomorrow's show. And as I said, go now off. Go and check your computers. Go and find your favorite conspiracy theory or ones that you don't believe in. Tell me why. Come on tomorrow. Have our chat. And yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow's one's going to be fun. So listen, give the video a like, subscribe, all that, notification button and all that. And listen, check out all the other videos that I put up. Because obviously, I put a bit of effort into those videos too. and I know some of you really enjoyed them. But some of them I do feel that, especially the Christopher Eccleston one, I thought would have got a lot more views than what it's gotten because it's a serious issue. Again, if you could share me videos as well, that's another way that you can help this channel. Listen, talk to you all tomorrow. God bless and good night. 10 o'clock tomorrow night. And that's it.